Chapter 4155. Damn it! Dragon Tiger Mountain was no longer fated with them. What should we do, Sage King? Should we go back? The sages around them had lingering fears. They had suffered countless casualties in the past 3 years of attacking Dragon Tiger Mountain, especially the last time they had suffered a great loss. The 3 Sage Kings' eyes glinted with madness. Damn it! They had worked so hard for so long and had got nothing. How could they be satisfied? Peerless Sage King had occupied 2 treasured lands and had obtained countless treasures. It seemed like it was time to strike. Let's go. The 3 Sage Kings had a discussion and immediately attacked. They led their people and disappeared into the void. On the other side, Peerless Sage King was moving very quickly. He was afraid that the 3 Sage Kings would join forces. However, he had underestimated the determination of the 3 Sage Kings. He had thought that the 3 Sage Kings would not catch up so quickly. Who would have thought that he would be intercepted by the 3 Sage Kings? 3 dead figures appeared in front of him, followed by countless sages and sage venerables. The aura of these people was extremely terrifying and shrouded the starry sky. Peerless Sage King stopped. Behind him, the elders Lin Xian and the others appeared as well. When they saw this scene, their faces darkened. Damn it! What were the 3 sage cities trying to do? Oh, what are you trying to do by stopping me? Don't tell me you want to follow me back to Peerless City for a drink? Wushuang, don't play dumb. You have obtained so many treasures in the Gourd world. Are you planning to take them all for yourself? When the people of Peerless City heard this, their faces changed drastically. As expected, these people were planning to rob them. Peerless Sage King's face darkened. They had agreed that it would be a fair duel. Who can you blame for your lack of skills? It's useless to say anything. We can't have wasted the past 3 years. Take out your treasures and share them. Otherwise, you won't have a good ending today. Silver Corpse Sage King's cold voice sounded. What? You want to fight? Peerless Sage King exuded a terrifying murderous aura that swept across the void. The surrounding stars began to tremble and become dim and lightless. Silver Corpse Sage King snorted coldly. Desolate Heaven Sage King also stepped forward. He had said that Wushuang was alone. We have 3 people on our side. Do you want to fight us? The reason why we didn't attack you before was because we were afraid that there might be some powerful formation in that world. Once we touched it, it would be difficult for us to escape. Now that we're out, we don't have to worry about that. If you want to make a move, you can try. Peerless Saint King took a step forward, his aura exploding. Devouring precepts spread out, and the unparalleled sword floated above his body, releasing an extremely terrifying killing intent. Yes, there are 3 of you, but so what? For the past 3 years, you have been attacking continuously. Your strength has long been exhausted. You are not at your peak state. Moreover, he was injured in the end. And I, on the other hand, am a peak existence. Moreover, I have 2 Saint King weapons in my hands. If we really fight, I can guarantee that you won't get any benefits. The people of the 3 sacred cities had ugly expressions on their faces. These words were indeed correct. If they were at their peak, the 3 Saint Kings would not have any misgivings at all. But the 3 great Sage Kings had expended too much energy now, and they were all injured. He wondered how much combat power he had left. On the other hand, Peerless Holy King's aura seemed to be even stronger than when he had entered. It was obvious that he had benefited greatly in the past 3 years. Just as great Sage King Shan was hesitating, a piercing light suddenly lit up. It charged towards Lin Xian. It was a sure-kill sword. Lin Xian jumped in fright. He immediately used the void escape technique and dodged quickly. And this scene directly alarmed the people of Peerless City. Who was it? Did he really want to make a move? Peerless Holy King roared and slashed down with his sword, directly shattering the void. Poof! A figure flew out and was beaten into a bloody mist. It was not someone from the 3 sacred cities. An assassin. Could it be the mortal world? Peerless Holy King was shocked, and Lin Xian's face was even uglier. Damn it, he had just changed his life form, and these people from the mortal world had come to kill him. Could it be that they had received news about him? He did not dare to imagine. Buzz, buzz, buzz. At the same time, many hazy figures appeared in all directions. They stood in the void like gods of death. These people crushed the tokens in their hands at the same time, forming a formation. Soon a space was formed. A figure came out of the space gate. When Peerless Holy King saw this, he immediately used all his strength to slash with the unparalleled sword. The space gate was shattered. The figure disappeared, but in the end, someone else walked out. This person was a late-stage sacred venerable, and he held a killing sword in his hand. It was the weapon of a sage king. It seemed that there was a sage king who wanted to teleport over. However, the formation was destroyed, and only a weapon and a sage venerable could be teleported over. That was enough. When the three sage kings saw this scene, they were overjoyed. This was a good opportunity to attack. The three of them charged over crazily. The mortal world assassins could help them turn the situation around. A great battle broke out in an instant. It was very sudden. The entire starry sky was destroyed. The three sage kings did not hold back at all, and they immediately used their ultimate skills. Some took out their sage king weapons, and some directly used Baron summoning. Their main target was Peerless Holy King, because as long as Peerless Holy King was dead, the others were nothing to be afraid of. Not good. Master, the people of Peerless City were stunned. 3 against 1. Could Peerless Holy King stop them? Senior brother, Lin Xian, was also shocked. This was too dangerous. He quickly threw out the Great Destruction Spear. At the same time, he left a soul imprint on it, allowing Peerless Holy King to control it. Peerless Saint King was instantly struck by a terrifying blow. He was forced to retreat. Fortunately, he had the devouring law and could devour a portion of the power. Otherwise, he would be in danger. But even so, he was still being suppressed. However, in the next moment, a pitch-black light pierced through the void, tearing apart the Yellow Springs diagram, and arrived beside Peerless Holy King. Peerless Holy King's eyes lit up. It was the second Sage King weapon. That was great. He grabbed the Great Destruction Spear with his left hand and swept it out. Boundless demonic chi exploded. The 2 Sage King weapons allowed him to temporarily escape from danger. Buzz, since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Peerless Holy King roared. Although he still had the appearance of a young man, his eyes were exuding a domineering aura. A huge devouring vortex appeared, covering the 9 heavens. The entire starry sky was completely dark. Everyone was devoured. The people of Sage City were terrified, and they frantically tried to defend themselves. Lin Xian and the others were also nervous. The 3 Sage Kings attacked as if they had gone mad. Chapter 4156. The battle between the 4 Sage Kings instantly destroyed everything. Lin Xian and the others quickly retreated. They couldn't fight against a battle between Sage Kings at all. The aftermath of this energy was enough to tear them to pieces. Therefore, with Linghu Chueshue as the representative, they quickly retreated into the distance. Did they want to leave? The people from the 3 holy cities rushed upstairs. Kill! Linghu Chueshue and the others drew their weapons and rushed up. If the 3 holy cities were at their peak, they would immediately turn around and leave. But now, the sages of the 3 holy cities had long lost their strength and were seriously injured. Moreover, their numbers were much fewer than before. Only a third of them survived. Although they had more people, their condition was too bad. These people were not to be feared at all. Sure enough, Linghu Chueshue was very powerful. He directly robbed them of their vision and sound. Then, he destroyed the soul aura on all of them. They were like killing gods in the darkness, quickly reaping. The people from the 3 holy cities roared crazily. Those who were strong enough to reach the holy venerate level crazily used their laws, making it impossible for anyone to get close to them. At the same time, they frantically retreated. And at this moment, another terrifying killing intent descended from the sky. It charged towards Lin Xian. At the same time, someone swung his sword. The barrier formed by Ling Hu Chueshua was instantly shattered. Not good, it was the weapon of a Sage King. Retreat quickly. The human world brought a Sage King weapon, which was enough to threaten all of them. Although Ling Hu Chueshua, Fu Hongya, and the others were strong, they couldn't resist a late-stage Holy Venerate and a Sage King weapon. They could only dodge quickly. Those killer sages kept chasing after them. In addition, the threat of this Sage King weapon was too great. Buzz! It was a blood-red sword. It was very terrifying. The aura it emitted became stronger again. Then it slashed towards Lin Xian. Not good. Lin Xian's pupils shrank. He activated the void escape. However, the power of this sword was too violent. It directly cut a nearby star in half. Lin Xian and the others couldn't dodge at all. Even if they were hit by the aftermath of the energy, they would probably be seriously injured. Therefore, Lin Xian said, "Come over." He opened the Great Sage Tower. With a clang, the Great Sage Pagoda was sent flying. Fortunately, he managed to block the attack. What is this? The people from Peerless City were stupefied. Lin Xian still had such a defensive treasure on him? The Crimson Dragon and Toad, however, were gnashing their teeth. Damn it, counterattack! They channeled their power into the Great Sage Tower. The Great Sage Pagoda transformed into a ray of light and collided with the merciless bloody sword. An intense battle broke out between the two of them. In a star world by the side, that world was torn apart. He wasn't dead. Does that brat still have a saint artifact on him? The three Saint Kings who were fighting Peerless Saint King were also stunned. They originally thought that the people from Wushuang City would definitely die. Who would have thought that he would be able to survive? Peerless Saint King heaved a sigh of relief and then used all his strength to counterattack. The Peerless Sword and Great Destruction spear in his hands attacked in all directions. However, at this moment, the space gate reformed in the void. Then, the real Saint King, Assassin, appeared. The moment he appeared, he shattered the 9 heavens and 10 lands. His terrifying killing intent once again destroyed the surrounding 2 stars. This was just the killing intent on his body. If he attacked with all his strength, how violent would it be? He took the merciless bloody sword from the Saint King and slashed it down. This was the full attack of a Saint King. The Great Sage Pagoda was sent flying again, and Lin Xian and the rest were forced back. There was no choice. He was too strong. If they were Saint Kings, they could definitely kill him with the Great Sage Pagoda. But now they were not Saint Kings. The strongest was only a Saint King. But a group of Saint Kings together was no match for a Saint King. You can come in too. When Peerless Saint King saw this scene, he used the law of devouring to swallow the Saint King assassin. He would not let the Saint King attack Lin Xian and the rest directly. The remaining Saint Slayers rushed out in a frenzy. The people from Great Mountain Sage City also rushed over. The situation was also very dangerous. Everyone go all out. Lin Xian's great dragon sword soul exploded. The Taiji diagram spun. The Crimson Dragon's dragon blood surged. The Dragon Clan's great mystique was used. The 7-colored phoenix appeared on Murong Qingqing's body. At the same time, a desolate pagoda appeared in her hand. This was a replica of an extreme weapon. Its power was also incomparably terrifying. Ling Hu Chueshua, Fu Hongya, and the rest also went all out. The battle was very tragic. Lin Xian and the rest actually resisted the attacks of the mortal world and the 3 great sacred cities. Although they were injured, they could hold on without the threat of the Saint King. If they could not block the attacks, they would use the Great Sage Pagoda to defend. But at this moment, An endless amount of yellow spring water dripped down from above their heads. It spread out in the void around them. Dodge! Don't be enveloped by the yellow spring water. They frantically retreated. But it was useless. This time it was not the Saint Kings of Acheron Hall who attacked, but the Silver Corpse Saint King. Acheron's soul control. An extremely terrifying and strange voice rang out. Everyone felt that they were being affected by the yellow spring water. They could not control their bodies. Even Lin Xian felt a huge impact on his soul. He frantically resisted with all his might. His soul was being pushed to the extreme, but he was still affected. His soul was currently equivalent to a Saint King's. But compared to a Saint King, it was not enough. He felt that the great sage pagoda had broken free from his control and was forcefully knocked away from him. It flew into the distance. It landed on a star realm. In the sky, a yellow spring Tao diagram charged toward them. It enveloped all of them. No. Were they going to die? At this moment, everyone was in despair. Murong Qingqing and the rest wanted to fight back, but they realized that the yellow spring had also swallowed the desolate pagoda replica. They were all controlled and turned into puppets. They could only watch helplessly as the attack came towards them. Was this the power of a Saint King? It was too strong. They were in despair and could not resist. Damn it, how dare you! Peerless Saint King roared crazily. However, 1 against 4 was already his limit. Even if he had 2 saint artifacts and the law of devour, he could not spare any extra energy to save Lin Xian and the rest. Damn it, no! Lin Xian roared. The great dragon sword soul circulated crazily and shattered the yellow spring's control. In the next moment he could move again. He frantically summoned the great sage pagoda. The great sage pagoda turned into a stream of light and flew over. But it was too late. The yellow spring Tao diagram was even faster. In an instant it was in front of them. The terrifying aura terrified them. Chapter 4157. Crack! Linghu Chue Shue, Fu Hongya, and the other's body shattered. The crimson dragon also screamed crazily. Murong Qingqing spat out a mouthful of blood, staining her face red. Ah! Lin Xian had gone crazy. He would never allow the other party to hurt the people around him. The great sage pagoda was too late to defend, so he could only rely on himself. Void escape. At this moment, Lin Xian activated many secret techniques. The great dragon sword soul, the terrifying power of Tai Chi, the void escape, and the peerless secret technique that increased his strength by 5 times. Lin Xian rushed up and used the void escape to teleport away. Not only that, but the Yellow Springs Tao diagram also left with him. In the next moment, Lin Xian appeared in the distance, and the Yellow Springs Tao diagram completely enveloped him. It shattered with a loud bang. That place had completely sunk into oblivion. Several stars were completely shattered. No, junior brother Lin, Linghu Chue Shue, and the others screamed crazily. Brother Xian, Murong Qingqing cried. The toad, the crimson dragon, and the others roared crazily. In order to save them, Lin Xian directly teleported the Yellow Springs Tao diagram away. He had taken a blow from the Sage King alone. More importantly, the great Sage Pagoda was not with the other party. No matter how strong the 9-yang divine body was, it could not withstand such an attack. Only one of them was hit. The Silver Corpse Sage King was stunned. He did not expect the other party to be able to teleport his attack away. This kid also knew spatial magic. However, it was good that he was dead. He did not plan to let the other party live anyway. Damn it, how dare you! The peerless Sage King was completely enraged. At this moment, he desperately attacked. He forced the 3 Sage Kings back. Bang! His back was struck by the World of Men's assassin's sword. His entire body was sliced into 2. However, he used the law of devour to directly devour the terrifying Sage King. Retreat! This guy has gone crazy. The three Sage Kings frantically retreated. As expected, the peerless Sage King was pretending to go berserk. He ignored the consequences and burned his bloodline and power. He attacked crazily. The three Sage Kings did not dare to fight head-on. The best way to deal with a crazy person was to avoid them. On the other side, the people from Peerless City were trembling in anger. Murong Qingqing felt as if her soul had been sucked out of her body. She could not believe what she was seeing. Older Brother Xian. She recklessly rushed over, but was sent flying by the power of the Yellow Springs. Her body died in blood. However, she rushed forward again. It was the same for the Toad and the Crimson Dragon. "Let us help you." They instantly rushed forward. It was the same for Linghu Chueshue and the others. Finally, they came to the front, but found that the front was already in ruins. That place had long become primal chaos, an endless abyss appearing. The void was shattered, and there was no one's shadow at all. There was blood. It was that kid's. He saw the dark red dragon's blood that looked like gold. This golden blood belongs to the Nine-Yang divine body. Lin Xian was injured. Where is he? That brat should be able to block it, right? They searched frantically, but they couldn't find Lin Xian at all. Could it be that this kid was really dead? These people did not dare to believe it at all. Meanwhile, the people from the three holy cities laughed out loud. That was great, but soon they could not laugh anymore, because Murong Qingqing and the others were crazily counterattacking. Peerless Holy King even used the law of devouring to devour the entire starfield. In an instant, the sages of the three holy cities were killed in an instant. Apart from the four holy kings, the others could not resist at all. Damn it! The eyes of the people from the three holy kings turned red. They had brought all the experts this time. They had lost some in the Gourd world, but they still had some top experts. But now, they had all been devoured by Peerless Holy King. How could they be willing to accept this? Therefore, the three holy kings also crazily counterattacked. In the human realm, the Holy King assassins also made a move. And from the looks of it, he wanted to continue hunting Murong Qingqing, Linghu Chueshue, and the others. Peerless Holy King, once again, launched a shocking attack. Then he turned into a black light and instantly arrived beside Linghu Chueshue and the others. He waved his hand and enveloped these people. Go! He also rolled up the Great Sage Pagoda and defended it at the same time. These people entered the Great Sage Pagoda and blocked the shocking attack of the four holy kings. Then they disappeared. Damn it! Damn it! The four holy kings' faces were ugly. The four of them had joined forces and wanted to kill Peerless Holy King and the others in one fell swoop. Then they might take the opportunity to take over the entire Wushuang city. However, things went beyond their expectations. They only killed Lin Xian. The others did not seem to be dead, and they did not get the treasures. More importantly, they had suffered heavy losses. The holy venerables that they had brought out were all killed. This made them so angry that they wanted to vomit blood. Damn it! Go! These people also quickly left. The assassins in the human realm also hid. The assassin's lips curled into a smile. He was not here to steal the treasures. He was here to kill Lin Xian. Now that he had killed Lin Xian, he could naturally go back. In the Great Sage Pagoda, everyone's mood was extremely low, especially Murong Qingqing and the Crimson Dragon. They still could not believe it. Was Lin Xian really dead? Damn it! I want revenge. The Crimson Dragon roared. Murong Qingqing gritted his teeth. I will use the power of the Kunlun Pavilion at all costs. I will not let them have it easy. Peerless Holy King took a deep breath. He said that revenge must be avenged, but not too crazily. There was still a glimmer of hope. What did this mean? They raised their heads. Could it be that Lin Xian was not dead? Peerless Holy King said that he was not sure, but a trace of his soul remained on this weapon. It had not disappeared yet, so there was still hope. Hearing this, Murong Chingching was so happy that he cried. The Crimson Dragon and the others also heaved a sigh of relief. But where was Lin Xian now? How was he? They had no idea. Peerless Holy King said, "Follow me back to Wushuang City. I will not let them have it easy." These people turned into streams of light and disappeared. As for this news, it began to spread. Lin Wuti was killed? That was impossible. The news came from the Holy City. The Holy King had killed him personally. No way. Lin Wuti had angered the Holy King? Which Holy King was it? It was said that it was the Silver Corpse Holy King from the Acheron Hall. How could Lin Wuti block his attack? Indeed, no matter how strong Lin Wuti was, he was only a minor saint. Compared to the Holy King, he was too weak. This time he was definitely going to die. Many people shook their heads and sighed. It was truly a pity that a top-notch genius had fallen. However, some of the geniuses in the Holy City heaved a sigh of relief. Some of them even sneered. Great! The Demon King was finally dead. No matter how arrogant he was, he had finally angered the Holy King. In any case, this incident caused the second astral realm to be in an uproar. Not long after, another shocking news spread. Chapter 4158. It turned out that Peerless City had directly destroyed one of the worlds of the Acheron Palace. That world of stars was torn to pieces, directly blown apart. Wow, it can't be. Peerless City had counterattacked. And it was such a terrifying counterattack. Everyone went crazy. This was not the end. After the Acheron Palace, the Great Barren Mansion, and the Thousand Demon City were also attacked. The worlds under their rule were also in tatters. The losses were very heavy. Peerless City's attack this time was very decisive and swift. After they succeeded, they immediately returned. The entire Peerless City was heavily guarded, not giving the other party a chance at all. The Saint Kings of the three holy cities had just returned. When they heard the news, they were so angry that they vomited blood. Damn it! Pass down the order. No one from Peerless City was allowed to escape. In an instant, the atmosphere in the second astral realm became incomparably tense again. Everyone went crazy. It was normal for there to be conflicts between the holy cities, but usually they were small skirmishes. But now that was not the case. Stars were destroyed at every turn. This was already an extremely terrifying method. It was very likely that there would be more terrifying battles in the future. A huge storm would sweep through the second astral realm. Thousand Demon City. 9 Qilins came out of seclusion. When he heard the news of Lin Xian's death, the corner of his mouth raised into a smile. Is he finally dead? I originally wanted to kill him personally. But it's good. The spot on the pilgrim list is mine now. Gao Yu of the New Moon Clan was also in a daze when she heard the news. Lin Wuti had fallen? She really did not dare to believe it. One had to know that when they could participate in the Destiny Star competition together, she had achieved dazzling results. However, Lin Wuti had grown much faster than her and had left her far behind. She originally thought that she would never be able to catch up to him in this lifetime. Who would have thought that something like this would happen to him? Not only her, but the Golden Crow clan and the Thousand Sword Pavilion all sneered. Even the people on the pilgrim ranking were stunned when they heard about it. What a pity. Chao Tianqing shook his head. On the other side, Gu Feng sneered when he heard the news. What heaven illuminator! He was indeed a person abandoned by the heavens. Only the living geniuses had a future. The dead were nothing. Some people were destined to become dust. Sealed land. This was a very famous forbidden area on Green Hill Planet. This was because this place was extremely dangerous. It was rumored that if an ordinary saint were to enter this place, he would definitely die. It was said that a great battle had taken place here in the ancient times. 2 peerless saints from outside the realm had fought fiercely here. Endless sacred blood was spilled. So many tens of thousands of years had passed, but those auras were still not extinguished. As soon as they entered, they would succumb to the pressure and become a blood-soul puppet. However, while ordinary people didn't dare to enter, powerful experts and geniuses could still enter. Furthermore, this sealed land would open once every 300 years to send in some people with potential to cultivate. This time, it was time for the official opening. Those who were able to enter were all experts. There were even people from other worlds who were preparing to come over and enter the sealed land. At this moment, in the depths of the seal, the void broke open. A black furnace came crashing down and landed on the ground. This caused the earth to tremble, and countless large cracks spread out in all directions. A bird's cry rang out. What was going on? The people who were participating in the trial in the sealed land were all alarmed. It was in the depths. Let's go and take a look. Could it be that something unexpected had happened? Or could it be that some treasure had appeared? These people all rushed over. As for the black stove, it slowly opened, and a person crawled out from it. After he came out, he looked around cautiously and then heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that he had escaped the pursuit of the 3 sage kings. This person was Lin Xian, and the furnace was the void divine furnace. Everyone thought that he was dead, but he was alive and had come to this mysterious place. Previously, he was indeed in great danger. He had used the void escape to move the Yellow Springs Tao diagram away, protecting Murong Qingqing and the others. However, he was in danger. Without the great sage tower by his side, it would be too difficult for him to block a sage king's terrifying attack with his current strength. It was basically impossible. However, he didn't only have the great sage tower in his body. He also had the void divine furnace. Although he didn't usually use this furnace, and only used it when he was refining pills. However, it was also a mysterious treasure that he had obtained. In the moment of danger, he took out the void divine furnace and entered it. He dodged. The void divine furnace was hit by the Yellow Springs Tao diagram, and it tore through the void and entered the turbulence of space. No one knew where it went. Fortunately, this furnace was extremely terrifying. It actually withstood the attack of the Sage Kings. When the furnace stabilized, Lin Xian came out from it and saw his surroundings. He realized that he was no longer in the starry sky, and the pursuit of the 3 Sage Kings was gone. It seemed that he had left that place, and his life was not in danger for the time being. However, he didn't know how Murong Qingqing and the others were doing. It seemed that he had to think of a way to go back, or at least find out where he was. Suddenly he frowned, because he felt many powerful auras rushing over. In the next moment, he waved his hand and put away the void divine furnace. However, a figure had already arrived in the void. He looked down and said coldly, "Who are you? What did you put away just now? Hand it over, and I'll spare your life." It seemed that he treated the void divine furnace as a treasure and wanted to snatch it away. Lin Xian frowned slightly and looked forward. He had consumed a lot of energy in the previous battle. Moreover, he was also injured when he ran away. At this moment, he could only use half of his strength. However, he wasn't someone that anyone could provoke. He realized that the figure in front of him was tall and straight. His aura was violent, and there was even a demonic energy. Moreover, there was an illusion of a tail behind him. He wasn't a human, but a demonic beast. It seemed that he had reached the late stage of the minor saint realm. He should be an expert. He didn't know what this place was. Therefore, he didn't prepare to fight. He said indifferently, "You don't need to know who I am. As for the thing that I put away just now, it's my own. Are you looking for other places? Are you a human? Humph, you're just a puny human. How dare you say that it's yours in this place? The entire sealed land is ours. Hand it over and I'll spare your life. Otherwise, you'll die without a burial place." Lin Xian was also angry. This guy is too arrogant. He snorted coldly. "Come and get it with your strength if you have the ability." Speaking of this, a terrifying aura surged out from his body, causing the heaven and earth to tremble. Buzz! Buzz! At this moment, many figures appeared in the surroundings. They didn't go forward, but watched the battle from the surroundings. That's Hu Donglai, right? He's here. Looks like we're done for. Yeah, we can't defeat him even if we join forces. These people sighed. Chapter 4159. Originally, they also thought that there were treasures, but now that they saw that tall man, they all gave up. Who was that? It was a human. He actually dared to challenge Hu Donglai. It seemed that he was courting death. Hu Donglai was also furious. You dare to challenge me? It seems that you really don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. If you want to die, then I'll fulfill your wish. His eyes became gloomy and cold. He slowly raised his palm. There was an astonishing power on it. His aura filled the air, and with a terrifying law, he slapped forward. A series of afterimages appeared. This claw grabbed at Lin Xian's throat. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly. Facing such an attack, he did not dodge. Instead, he directly threw out a punch. The golden fist flickered with light, and the flames on it jumped. Clang! An earth-shaking sound was heard. The two of them each took 3 steps back. Lin Xian sighed. Right now, he only had half of his strength left. Otherwise, this strike of his would have split the other party's hand apart. On the other side, Hu Donglia's pupils shrank in disbelief. The other party was actually able to fight evenly with him. It was really unbelievable. Could it be that the other party had some secret technique? How could he know that this was only half of Lin Xian's strength? If he knew, he would probably be scared silly on the spot. The surrounding people also cried out in surprise. This scene was really beyond their expectations. It seemed that a mysterious human expert had entered. Why didn't they know? Hu Donglia's face was cold as he asked coldly, "Who are you? And who are you?" Lin Xian asked back, "Humph, you don't even know me?" Hu Donglai was stunned. He thought that the other party was still arrogant. However, seeing that the other party really did not seem to know him, he also showed suspicion. Could it be that you are not from Green Hill? Green Hill, was that the name of this world? Lin Xian's eyes flickered. He carefully recalled that he had never heard of this world. Could it be that it was not the second astral realm? Shaking his head, he felt that it was unlikely. He should not be able to leave the second astral realm. Moreover, the second astral realm was too vast. He had only heard of the names of some sacred cities. He had never heard of most of the world's names. So now, it was normal that he did not know. I don't know. I came here by chance. Lin Xian shook his head. A shocking killing intent appeared in Hu Donglia's eyes. If you don't know, then die. Wang. He condensed his hand once again, and there was a green flame dancing on it. Cyan Foxclaw. The terrifying claws suddenly grew in size, resembling 2 green mountains. The green laws on them continuously revolved. Its power was extremely strong. If this strike landed, it was likely that anyone of the same cultivation realm would die instantly. Wang. Lin Xian coldly snorted, instantly displayed the Heavenly Dipper battle sword, 36 battle swords, whistling between heaven and earth. The terrifying law of sword collided with the green fox's claws. A terrifying explosion swept out in all directions. The spectators retreated frantically as they screamed in horror. No way! This kid could really contend against Hu Donglai. Hu Donglia's Cyan Fox Claw is an ultimate technique. Even if we join hands, we can't block it. That brat had actually blocked it. His 36 Dao swords should be an extremely terrifying saint artifact. Everyone was talking about it. Hu Donglai was equally shocked, his face completely gloomy. Another fierce collision. Everything around them was turned into ashes. The two were once again tied, confronting each other. Hu Donglia's expression was ugly, while Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. He nodded. Not bad, not bad. Although I only have half of my strength now, to be able to fight with me for so long. You are indeed a genius. After hearing this, Hu Donglai directly vomited blood. The other party was commenting on him? What qualifications did the other party have to comment on him? He was a genius to begin with. Moreover, what did the other party only have half of his strength mean? Was he looking down on him? Ah! He rushed forward. The 36 heavenly dipper battle swords burned with golden flames, transforming into 36 golden crows, and directly collided with the other party. Hu Donglai was pushed back. Lin Xian said, "I don't have the time to fight with you now. You'd better not provoke me, or else you'll end up miserable." "Damn brat!" Hu Donglai roared angrily. 5 tails appeared behind him, shaking nonstop. An extremely terrifying bloodline power burst out, and his aura and strength also increased exponentially. It seemed that he was going to go all out. Turning into a stream of light, he instantly appeared in front of Lin Xian, and the green fox claws crazily fell. However, he missed. He only managed to hit an afterimage. The void shattered, and there was no trace of Lin Xian at all. Was that brat killed? Impossible, not even blood flowed out. He should have left. What a fast speed! Everyone was discussing. Hu Donglia's face became gloomy. He felt a trace of spatial power. Did the other party use a spatial divine ability to escape? Damn it, the other party actually knew such a mysterious divine ability? Who was this person? Lin Xian used the void escape to leave this place. He did not fight with these people anymore. Instead, he wanted to leave as soon as possible. At least he had to ask where this place was. As he walked, he was suddenly stunned, because he found that on the tree in front of him, there was a little white monkey waving at him. Lin Xian was completely stunned. Little White. This little monkey looked exactly the same as the Snow White little monkey. Could it be that the other party had also been knocked down along with him? Thinking of this, he walked forward and said with a smile, "Little White." Little White also pounced towards him. However, when it arrived in front of him, Lin Xian's pupils suddenly shrank. He felt a huge sense of danger. Buzz! He did not have time to think and directly dodged. The place where he was originally standing was torn apart by the little monkey, and a terrifying spatial crack appeared. Lin Xian frowned, and a golden light flickered in his eyes. In the next moment, his face became even more unsightly, because in front of him it was not Little White at all. It was a rune that burned with green flames. An illusion? Lin Xian was too surprised. Someone actually set up an illusion to deal with him? Who was it? Was it the group from before? Suddenly, at this moment, he heard a sound. "You can actually dodge my illusion attack. This is really unbelievable. How did you see through it?" Lin Xian turned his head and saw a young girl walk out from behind the tree. She was wearing white clothes, and her hair was braided. There was a collar around her neck. She looked very cute. She looked to be about 15 or 16 years old. Lin Xian was shocked. Could it be that this illusion was set up by the other party? Could it be an old monster? He frowned slightly. After all, the unparalleled Sage King also looked so young, but his real body was a Sage King. Could the little girl in front of him be the same? "Old monster? You're the old monster." The young girl immediately pouted after hearing that. It was obvious that she was very unhappy with that title. In the next moment, she formed a seal with her palms. "Illusion Realm, Void Spirit Slash." As her voice fell, the scene around her changed again. Lin Xian felt that there was an endless void around him. The stars under his feet flickered, and there was a ray of starlight in the sky. It was going to split his body in half. Chapter 4160. Humph! This is all an illusion. Lin Xian's eyes shone with golden light as he swept his gaze across the area. In the next moment, he realized that the scene around him had indeed disappeared. He was still standing in the same direction. "It's useless. The illusion has no effect on me," Lin Xian said as he walked forward. The little girl was clearly shocked. Her array formation had been broken so quickly. "That's impossible. However, at this moment she smiled brightly. You still lost. As soon as her voice fell, a ray of light shone behind Lin Xian. It was a saber with a terrifying, murderous intent. It made Lin Xian's hair stand on end. Buzz! With a flip of his hand, he pulled out a battle sword and slashed out. A sonorous sound was heard. The space was torn apart, and a figure retreated. Lin Xian frowned as well, to think that there was someone else. He didn't notice it before. Could it be that this person was also hiding in the illusion formation? What a strange place. How could there be so many geniuses here? Lin Xian realized that he seemed to have come to an unusual place. He shook his head and prepared to leave. When the girl saw this scene, she said, "Catch him. He can break my illusion. He must have some secrets on him. I have to study it carefully." A man in battle armor walked out from behind her. He held a long and narrow saber in his hand. It was as thin as a willow leaf. However, he had already experienced its attack power. It was terrifying. This person was also a late-stage, small saint. It seemed like this was a place where geniuses gathered. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many experts. Buzz! The man in green battle armor moved. Instantly, 5 phantoms that looked exactly like him appeared around him and surrounded Lin Xian. These 5 phantoms seemed real. The aura on their bodies was equally terrifying. 6 phantoms strike. The long sabers in the hands of the 6 phantoms fell together. The power was extremely terrifying. Could it be an illusion? Lin Xian activated his heavenly secret divine eyes and continued to investigate. The next moment, he retreated and took out more battle swords. They formed the Heavenly Dipper Sword formation to block the attack. The reason for that was because he had discovered that those 5 figures were not illusions. Instead, they were real. The Heavenly Dipper battle swords crisscrossed, forming a close defense. He blocked all 6 of their attacks. At the same time, Lin Xian sent out 12 swords to kill the enemy. The 24 sword slashes were used for defense. Combining offense and defense, he was able to handle it with ease. Wow, that's amazing. The young girl leaned against the tree and started eating melon seeds. The armored man furiously roared, and the 6 of them attacked together. Resplendent laws lit up the world, making it so that no one could open their eyes. Lin Xian used the Heavenly Dipper battle sword to block, but at this time, the ground beneath his feet cracked open. The 7th figure appeared and charged forward. Was this the real killer move? Lin Xian shouted coldly. He stomped his foot and kicked the opponent's saber. With a clang, the 7th figure was forced back, and the other 6 figures also disappeared. Had he been discovered? Damn it, what a strong physique. Are you really human? The armored man shook his head. His arm was a little numb. What kind of person was this? How could he be so strong? The young girl was also shocked and couldn't believe it. Looking at your physique, such a strong bloodline power must be very powerful. The young girl's eyes lit up as if she was staring at a delicious meal. Lin Xian's face was covered in cold sweat. Damn, is this still a foodie? He also revealed his white teeth. Don't provoke me. I have eaten many monsters such as the golden roc, the golden crow. I have eaten them all. You'd better stay away from me. The armored man was stunned. Was this for real? The young girl was surprised. Really? Was it delicious? Lin Xian's face was covered in cold sweat. The young girl wasn't afraid at all. He said, "Okay, you can't beat me, and I don't want to fight with you. I have to go. Who are you?" The armored man asked. Lin Xian said, "Human, I accidentally came here. To be honest, I just want to go out and know where this place is. If you want to know, you can ask us." The young girl said, "Really? Then can you tell me where this place is?" "This is the Green Hill Star. The place you are in is called the Sealed Land." Lin Xian was even more confused. "Can you tell me more details?" Then Lin Xian didn't attack again. Instead, he asked in detail. Soon he had a rough understanding. The place where the 9-tailed fox lived was very famous in the second astral realm. But like the sky demon-covered land, it was very mysterious. Ordinary people couldn't find its coordinates. Only some powerful monsters could find it. Humans rarely appeared here. Thus, Lin Xian's appearance came as a great surprise to them. And the place they were in now was a forbidden area on the Green Hill Star. The sealed land opened once every 300 years. It was the opening time now. Hearing this, Lin Xian finally understood. It was no wonder why so many experts would appear here. It turned out that they were here to undergo training. Do you have a map? I want to leave the sealed land and then leave the Green Hill Star. I'm ready to go back. Why don't we go together? We want to go back too. The young girl was called Qianbai. She said with a smile. Next to her, the man in light armor was called Qing Feng. Okay, thank you. With these two leading the way, they should be able to get out soon. Sure enough, Qianbai and the others took a detour to some dangerous places. But in these few days, Lin Xian also saw some battles. There were even some battles that shocked him. It seemed that the second astral realm was indeed terrifying. Other than the sacred city, there were still many terrifying geniuses and experts in other places. It was just that they weren't known by the world. Lin Xian even saw a person who was very strange. The purple light on his body surged, forming a purple palace that floated behind him. Endless, terrifying sword light was emitted from inside. Two people of the same level were instantly killed. Who was this person? Wasn't this the supernatural power of the Purple Void Temple? Lin Xian had fought with the people of the Purple Void Temple. Naturally, he knew. The people of the Purple Void Temple were here too. Seeing this scene, Qianbai said, "It seems that you're not a nobody. You even know about the Purple Void Temple." That's right, he was indeed from the Purple Void Temple, but he had another identity. Then he was from the Demon Clan. His original form should be a purple dragon. Don't provoke this guy. This guy is very powerful. Qianbai led the way. The purple dragon of the Purple Void Temple? Lin Xian made a mental note of this man. After 2 days, they met another person. This person had a mysterious rune between his eyebrows. Lin Xian had seen this rune before. That was the symbol of the Limitless sect. The top expert of the Limitless sect, Chao Tiansheng, was very mysterious. Legend said that he was not inferior to Gu Feng. The genius of the Limitless sect was here too? What was his original form? His original form was the Azure Sky Rock, a very terrifying variant of heaven and earth. Chapter 4161. The three of them took a detour again. After another 2 days, Qianbai suddenly said, "I feel Sister's aura." As she spoke, she sped up and walked towards a valley in front of her. Qing Feng also smiled and said, "Let's go." Lin Xian was curious. Was this the sister of these people? He also followed. There was indeed a figure in the valley. Her back was facing everyone. It seemed that she was not fighting, but admiring the flowers. Admiring the flowers was also comprehending the great Tao. He did not know what great Tao this woman was comprehending. "Sister." Qianbai ran up directly. The woman turned around with a smile on her face. She took it from Qianbai. "You little girl, it's so dangerous here. Who let you in?" "Don't worry. Qing Feng will not be in any danger with me." Sure enough, Qing Feng also walked up and said, "Sister, long time no see." Lin Xian also followed in, but he was soon stunned. He even widened his eyes in disbelief. To be honest, he really did not expect to meet her here. There's actually someone else here. The woman in front also raised her head and revealed a smile. However, when she saw Lin Xian, she was also stunned and almost screamed. "It's you! Why are you here? How can you still be alive?" She was really shocked. "Do you know her? He is very powerful. He can actually break my illusion." Qianbai was very surprised. Qing Feng was also stunned. This person seemed to have a stronger background than they imagined. Lin Xian said, It seems that my news has already spread. Then let me ask you, other than me, what happened to the others? There should be news spread out. Lin Xian was too shocked. He really did not expect to meet Qin Sienna here. She was a genius of the Acacia Palace. Moreover, she was also a genius on the pilgrim list and a super user of illusion. But why would the other party appear here? Could it be that she was also a demon? Previously, he had already met people from the Purple Void Palace and the Limitless Sect. It seemed that not every demon was going to the Demon City. They would also go to other sacred cities. Qin Sienna was even more shocked. She was not surprised to meet anyone from the sacred cities here. However, meeting Lin Xian was simply too unexpected for her. Wasn't Lin Xian already dead? He was killed by the Sage King. However, why was he still able to appear here? Could it be that the legend was fake? The legend you heard should be true, but the ending is different. I dodged the blow. Hearing this, Qin Sienna was shocked, not daring to believe it. That was an attack from a Saint King. Even a Saint Venerable could not dodge it, but Lin Xian could. Lin Xian said, "You haven't answered my question." Qin Sienna came back to her senses. She said that the others should be fine. They were all taken away by Peerless Saint King and returned to Peerless Saint City. Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief when he heard that Murong Qingcheng and the Crimson Dragon were not in danger. That was great. He was most worried about these people now. As long as these people returned to the Holy City, they should be fine. Thank you for telling me. I won't disturb your reunion anymore. Fairy, can you give me a map? I want to leave this place as soon as possible. Do you want to go back? Qin Sienna said, I advise you not to go back now. Peerless Saint City directly attacked the 3 holy cities for you and destroyed many star worlds. If you go out now, you will be targeted by the 3 holy cities. There will probably be a terrifying battle. Lin Xian was shocked again when he heard this. He did not expect Peerless Saint King to fight back so crazily. However, he had to go back sooner or later. Qin Sienna said, Why don't you go back at a specific time? For example, when you go back at the Holy Heavens. I think that at that time in front of so many holy cities, those sage kings will not attack you openly. What is the Holy Heavens Tao discussion? Lin Xian was confused. Qin Sienna was even more surprised. You don't know? Didn't the people in the holy city tell you? Lin Xian shook his head. Although I joined the holy city, I did not spend much time in the holy city. Most of the time I was outside. Indeed, there are legends about you everywhere. Qin Sienna smiled. This was a huge event in the second star world, and it was the most important one. It was held once every 1,000 years. When the Holy Heavens Tao discussion started, almost all the holy cities and some of the top families would participate. There was no age limit, and the cultivation level was limited to those below the Holy King realm. You can think of it as a grand competition. Not only would the participants represent their holy city, but the winner would also have their name engraved in the Holy Hall and receive supreme glory. There was also a reward for not being injured. It could be said that the Holy Heavens Tao discussion was something that every sage yearned to participate in. There was actually such a thing. Lin Xian was too shocked. It seemed like there were many things that he did not know. However, he guessed that if the 3 holy kings did not attack him, Peerless Saint King would probably tell him about it when he returned. How long was there? The Holy Heavens Tao discussion was about to start. Not much. There were still 10 years. 10 years was indeed not much. For people like them, it would take more than 10 years to cultivate in seclusion. Seeing Lin Xian's hesitation, Qin Sienna added, You can actually cultivate here. It won't be too late for you to return when you're stronger. All right. Lin Xian nodded. Thousands of years passed in the blink of an eye, let alone 10 years. This amount of time was nothing to him. Moreover, he only had half of his strength now. He was prepared to recuperate. As for the news that he was still alive, he was prepared to use some methods to send it back. Fortunately, the Great Destruction Spear was in the hands of Peerless Saint King, and it still had his soul imprint on it. He could use his soul to send it back. He had to prepare well for it. As for the Holy Heavens Tao discussion, since it was the most important event in the second star world, he would definitely not miss it. Yellow Spring Hall. Great desolate mansion, 1,000 Demon City. Just wait. When he appeared again, he would not spare the 3 holy cities. As for the 3 holy kings who had attacked him, especially the Yellow Spring Holy King, he would personally kill them one day. You actually have such good luck to be chosen by my sister. Let me tell you, my sister is the princess of the 9-tailed fox clan. Qian Bai lightly snorted. Lin Xian was greatly shocked. Indeed, Qin Xianer was also from the demon clan. Moreover, she was from the legendary 9-tailed fox clan. Little girl, don't speak nonsense. Qin Xianer looked at Lin Xian and said, We're only a branch of the 9-tailed fox clan. The true 9-tailed fox clan shouldn't be in the second star world. Lin Xian nodded in agreement. For example, he had seen many members of the dragon clan. However, the true nest of 10,000 dragons was in the true spirit world. Thinking about it, the buried Emperor Star should also have Dragon Balls. The 9-tailed fox clan's main camp might even be in the legendary buried Emperor Star. Although it was a branch, it was still the 9-tailed fox clan. No wonder Qin Xianer's illusion techniques were so powerful. No wonder this little girl had such terrifying illusion techniques at such a young age. This was a bloodline talent. All right, let's go back. Oh, right, Lin Gongzi, you should properly change your appearance. If the people of the other holy cities saw this news and sent it back, it would be very dangerous. If that happened, it would be bad. Lin Xian nodded. He had changed his appearance, with the great dragon sword soul. Unless it was a true sage ruler, no one would be able to see through his identity. As for Qian Bai and Qing Feng, after Qin Xianer spoke, the 2 of them also nodded. They definitely wouldn't leak any information. Following this, the 4 of them walked out of the seal. Following this, many people respectfully greeted Qin Xianer when they saw her. Some young geniuses even had fiery red eyes. If they could obtain the favor of the princess, they would soar into the sky. However, when they saw an unfamiliar youth standing beside Qin Xianer, their eyes were filled with jealousy. Damn it, who is this person? They gnashed their teeth in anger. Of course, other than the 9-tailed fox clan, there were also other powerful demon clans that entered the seal. There were even some that dared to directly attack Qin Xianer. It had to be said that they were extremely daring. However, their fates were very miserable. Qin Xianer's speed was even more terrifying than Qian Bai's. With just a glance, she had directly imprisoned the souls of those who attacked her, making them unable to resist at all. The 9-tailed fox clan was very good at illusory techniques. It seemed that he had to study it properly when he had the chance. Lin Xian was also very surprised by these people's illusory techniques. The following days were relatively peaceful. Basically, no one dared to provoke this team. However, on this day, something unexpected happened. There were 3 figures in front of them, and their bodies were equally terrifying. They stared at Qin Xianer with fiery red eyes. They didn't expect that they would be so lucky to meet such a fairy. Come back with us. The 3 of them didn't allow any explanation and directly charged forward. They didn't know what was good for them. Qing Feng shouted coldly and charged forward. He transformed into 6 doppelgangers and fought with them. However, the 3 of them were very strange. Their bodies turned into black smoke and then disappeared. When they reappeared, they had already dodged Qing Feng's attack. Chapter 4162. These people dodged Qing Feng's attack and turned into black smoke, charging towards Qin Xianer. Black laws spread out, burning with light, forming 2 black killing swords that slashed forward viciously. It enveloped Qin Xianer. Not good. Qing Feng's expression changed. Lin Xian also frowned. Were these people here for Qin Xianer? Qin Xianer narrowed her eyes and revealed a smile. Red light waves flew out from her eyes. Clearly, she was using her eye technique. As expected, although the two people's bodies turned into black smoke, their souls couldn't escape at all. They were still affected by the illusion technique. With two thuds, the two of them fell to the ground. They were foaming at the mouth and trembling nonstop. Seeing this, Qianbai sneered. How dare they assassinate my sister with such little strength? They really don't know what's good for them. However, right after he said that, Lin Xian warned him to be careful. With a wave of his arm, he slapped at the surrounding void, and a figure was slapped out. Qianbai was shocked because the figure was very close to her. If it wasn't for Lin Xian, she would be in danger. Damn it, is there anyone else? Qing Feng also rushed back and formed 6 clones to block them. At the same time, the surrounding sky darkened and countless black feathers fluttered in the air. There were even strong winds and torrential rain. Not good. It's not just 1 or 2 people. Sister, let's go. Qianbai's face also turned cold. Boom! Terrifying laws filled the air, and a great battle broke out instantly. The people hidden in the black smoke were very terrifying, and there were many of them. There were more than 30 people, and they only had 4 people on their side. It was equivalent to 1 against 10. Fortunately, they were all very strong. Qin Xianer was also an expert on the pilgrim list. Moreover, her illusion technique was extremely terrifying. Often, just looking at her would cause many people's souls to be affected. Buzz! Suddenly, 2 palms reached out from the black smoke. These were 2 purple palms, covered with patterns. In the middle of their palms, there were 2 ancient words. That was the power of the seal. In an instant, they had locked onto Qin Xianer, wanting to seal her. Qin Xianer retreated and took out her zither, releasing sound waves. It turned into a sharp blade and fought against the purple palm. The collision between the 2 was extremely terrifying. The 2 palms were knocked back, but they did not shatter. Obviously, the attacker was a peak minor saint. Qianbai and Qing Feng were suppressed. Although the 2 of them were strong, it was too much for them to fight 1 against 10. Moreover, the people who came this time were all experts. Fortunately, Lin Xian was here. A cold light flashed in Lin Xian's eyes. He had just been hunted down, so he naturally knew what it felt like to be hunted down. Who would have thought that these people would actually dare to attack? Although it wasn't directed at him, he was still angry. Humph! One after another, battle swords flew out. 36 Heavenly Dipper battle swords quickly circled around. The sword chi on it was awe-inspiring, spreading out in all directions. In an instant, Lin Xian blocked nearly half of the people. Was he that powerful? Qing Feng took a deep breath. Qian Tian's eyes widened in disbelief. Buzz! At this moment, another pair of purple palms slapped towards Lin Xian with the power of sealing, wanting to seal him. Obviously, they could tell that Lin Xian was a difficult opponent. Although Lin Xian only had half of his strength now, it was not something that ordinary saints could resist. He controlled the 36 Heavenly Dipper battle swords to fight. The sword chi on them cut through everything. The purple palms could not get close. It seemed that he had to use some methods. He took a deep breath and was about to use Tai Chi, however. At this moment, a long howl came from afar. Qinghu's claw. Then, a green light flickered and turned into 2 terrifying palms that slapped down. It directly dispersed the surrounding black fog. A figure charged over forcefully and many people were sent flying. Great, Qianbai smiled. Donghu Lai is here. Lin Xian was also taken aback when he saw an insolent man charging towards him. The demonic aura on his body kept spreading. It's him. Lin Xian was stunned. He knew this person. It was the person who fought with him before. He remembered correctly that this person was called Donghu Lai. Could it be that he knew Qin Xianer and the others? After Donghu Lai arrived, he took out a green long saber and slashed in all directions. At the same time, he used the green fox claw and kept attacking. He sent many people flying and was about to arrive. Sienna, are you all right? His eyes were filled with concern. Qin Sienna frowned slightly, but she still shook her head. Suddenly, the killing intent in Donghu Lai's eyes exploded again. It's you. You dare to attack Sienna. You're courting death. He swung his claws at Lin Xian. The claws of the green fox moved in the air. It enveloped Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The 36 heavenly dipper battle swords covered the sky like dragons and sent the green claws flying. Lin Xian said coldly, "If you want to fight, I'll accompany you." Qian Bai also said, "Donghu Lai, you've hit the wrong person. This guy is our friend." "What friend?" Donghu Lai frowned. Wasn't he in cahoots with these people? Qin Sienna shook her head. "This is my friend. Don't attack him again." "Sienna, how can humans trust you?" Maybe these people were attracted by him. Qin Sienna frowned. "Don't say any more. Are you doubting my words?" Donghu Lai snorted coldly and didn't say anything else. He looked at the people in front of him. "Who are you? How dare you attack the saintess of my nine-tailed fox clan? Do you want to die?" Lin Xian was surprised. He didn't expect Qin Sienna's status in the nine-tailed fox clan to be so high. The black fog in front of him spread again. Two purple eyes looked over. "Saintess, you're also a princess. We're capturing you." As he spoke, the black fog rushed over again, courting death. Hudong Lai and the others charged forward again. A great battle broke out. This time it was even more terrifying. More black fog surged over from the surroundings. Not good. When Qin Feng saw this scene, he bit his finger and drew a strange pattern on his glabella. In the next moment, he roared at the sky. His body gradually grew bigger. Then, for tails appeared on his back and danced non-stop. A roar shook heaven and earth. It turned into a cyan pillar of light that tore through the 9 heavens and bloomed in the sky. Everyone in the sealed area saw it. It was the 9-tailed royal family's distress signal. Someone dared to attack a member of the royal family? Those people were all stunned. At the same time, there were other powerful figures outside the sealed area that instantly roared out. They tore through the void and charged in. Retreat! The black fog spread. When they saw this scene, they also gave the order to retreat. They retreated like the tide. At this moment, a tail curled over. It collided with those purple eyes. The terrifying tail retreated. However, it still caught 3 of the black fog and stared at them. The other black fog retreated. Several powerful figures appeared in the surroundings. After they appeared, they looked at Qin Sienna. "Saintess, are you all right?" Chapter 4163. Qin Sienna shook her head, but then she frowned and said, "Who are these people?" A sacred venerate waved his hand and grabbed the 3 streaks of black fog. Then he used the power of law. The 3 streaks of black fog kept growing bigger and turned into 3 black, demonic beasts. Seeing this scene, that person frowned. The Black Gold Sparrow clan. Did they not know what was good for them? They were probably just scapegoats. The real enemy was in the dark. "Let's go. It's not safe here." Qin Sienna took a deep breath. In the next moment, she said coldly, "Bring these people back and search their souls. At the same time, thoroughly investigate this matter. I want to see who dares to kill me halfway." At this point, a cold glint appeared in her beautiful eyes. Soon, the 3 black gold sparrows were put away, with 4 sacred venerates escorting them. Lin Xian and the others safely left the seal. Then they flew into the distance. After flying for many days, a huge city finally appeared in front of them. It was like a country. This was the 9-tailed fox's imperial city. After entering, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. "All right, I'm tired. You guys go down and do what you wanted to do." The 4 sacred venerates left. Hu Donglai wanted to say something. Qin Xianer also said that you should leave first. What about this kid? He stared at Lin Xian with a murderous look. I said that she's my friend. I'll make the arrangements. This has nothing to do with you. Qin Xianer said coldly. Then, she left with Qian Bai, Qing Feng, Lin Xian, and the others. As the saintess, Qin Xianer had her own palace and territory. Therefore, when she came to her territory, she was completely relaxed. She activated the surrounding formations. Then, they walked up the mountain along the mountain path. Qing Feng, take Qian Bai to rest. Then, she and Lin Xian went on alone again. Qin Xianer pointed to a nearby mountain and said, You can rest here. I'll be right next to you. It's very close. Sure enough, their mountains were next to each other. All right, then I'll go in first. Lin Xian didn't stand on ceremony. After all, he wasn't in a particularly good state right now. He wanted to recover his strength first, so he directly entered the palace next to him. Next, Lin Xian set up a sealing array. Next, Lin Xian took out some natural treasures and began recovering rapidly. This process lasted for about 10 days. Lin Xian swallowed many elixirs and heavenly treasures, and finally recovered completely. He wasn't seriously injured in the first place, but he had expended too much energy. However, the void divine furnace blocked the attack, so he was only slightly injured. After 10 days of recovery, Lin Xian began to communicate with Lin Xian. He didn't know how far it was from Wushuang City. Therefore, to be safe, he sent a soul ripple to his soul imprint. Wushuang City. Peerless Saint King was sitting cross-legged in his own secret territory. There was a black hole floating behind him. Beside him was a sword and a black spear. All of a sudden, the black spear began to tremble as boundless demonic chi began to vibrate. Peerless Saint King opened his eyes. What's going on? In the next moment, he felt a soul ripple. Then he was overjoyed. This was Junior Brother's soul ripple. It seemed like he wasn't dead. That's great. Peerless Saint King heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed like he had to let the other kids know. Otherwise, they wouldn't have to worry. Peerless Saint King prepared to leak the news to the Crimson Dragon and Morong Qingqing. As for the others, he would keep it a secret for now. He still had other things to do. This time, the 3 sacred cities had acted so recklessly. Naturally, he wouldn't hold back. Wushuang Saint King sent out a whirlpool to spread the news. Indeed, the Morong Qingqing and Crimson Dragon heaved a sigh of relief when they heard that Lin Xian wasn't dead. Now that their biggest worry was gone, the next step was to discuss how to take revenge. On the other side, a black figure appeared on planet Tianming. Standing opposite him was the masked bronze emissary. Has the mission been completed? The bronze envoy asked. Although he didn't do it personally, he was hit by the Saint King's attack. He would definitely die. Very well, you may leave. I'll contact you again if there's anything. The black figure turned into a ray of light and left. Soon he was out of planet Tianming and flew into the distance. He merged into the void. No one would know of his existence. However, just as he left, a dragon's roar could be heard. In an instant, the void was cut in half. With a scream, the man's body split open. His sacred blood dyed the void red. The man's soul tried to escape, but at that moment a hammer fell on him. His body had been completely destroyed. Even his soul had been destroyed. In the void, an old woman holding a flower basket appeared. The dragon's scissors shrunk and entered her basket. Next to her, a burly man walked out. His body was covered in fire, and the hammer in his hand was unusually heavy. It was as if he could destroy a planet with a single blow. The world of men was indeed related to them. The burly man said coldly. Granny Hua frowned. Damn it. It seems like the warning I gave them last time wasn't enough. They still dare to attack us. Why don't we kill them directly? The burly man stared at Planet Tianming. Granny Hua shook her head. No, it's not the right time to attack them. Let's give them a warning first. Next, we have to make a good plan. There are some people in the second astral realm that need to be cleaned up. Having said that, her turbid eyes suddenly burst out with dazzling rays of light. In the next moment, the two of them turned into a ray of light and disappeared into the universe. Green Hill, Imperial Capital. Lin Xian calmed down after he finished transmitting the message. He thought that his senior brother should be able to receive it. Then he could cultivate in peace here. Lin Xian had obtained a lot of benefits in the Gourd world. Now he needed to consolidate them. Lin Xian had devoured the lightning and evolved his life form. Therefore, he was preparing to break through to the late stage of minor saint. There were a lot of heavenly treasures and spiritual pills around him. Lin Xian formed a seal and started to break through with all his might. Boom! Boom! Countless laws filled the air around him, and a huge vortex appeared in the sky. Dark clouds appeared and lightning struck down as if it was going to destroy everything. Such a scene naturally alarmed the people in the imperial capital. Qin Xianer was also surprised. She walked out of the palace and looked at the terrifying aura beside her. Is this kid going to break through? Thinking of this, she sighed. He's only a minor saint now, but he's already so strong. I wonder how strong he'll be after he breaks through. Thinking of this, her figure swayed and she retreated. On the other side, Qian Bai and the others also retreated. They stared at the terrifying array formation with shocked expressions on their faces. Is Lin Gongzi going to break through again? Qing Feng was extremely shocked. Isn't this lightning too terrifying? Countless people in the imperial capital looked over. That's the territory of the Saintess. Is the Saintess going to break through? Great. Qin Xianer is going to break through. She's going to be a saint sovereign. The elders of the imperial capital were excited. Of course, there were also some who looked gloomy. Their eyes were filled with killing intent. Qin Xianer was the saintess of the nine-tailed fox. She was also a princess. However, the imperial capital had more than one princess. More importantly, there were still many princes. These princes were all competitors. Qin Xianer was strong, so they were naturally unhappy. Go and find out. These people went and found out. However, Qin Xianer had already activated the formation and isolated everyone from entering. She didn't want Lin Xian's breakthrough to be disturbed. Chapter 4164. The people outside couldn't detect it at all. They could only feel the terrifying lightning spreading. This shocked them. Could it be that this lightning was really breaking through to the Holy Venerate realm? Many people went back to report. However, this terrifying lightning lasted for half a month. Suddenly he disappeared. Everyone was stunned. Could it be? The princes and princesses took a deep breath. A cold light appeared in their eyes. Could it be that the Holy Maiden failed to break through? If that was the case, it would be great. It would be best if she went berserk. Many princesses sneered. Qin Xianer and the others were also stunned. Disappeared? Could it be that she succeeded? But it shouldn't be. This was different from the scene of success. Could it be that she failed? They all rushed over. Are you okay? Qin Xianer asked. Lin Xian pushed open the door and walked out. I'm fine. I just broke through. Sorry to disturb you. The commotion was really big. Qin Xianer smiled. Qing Feng was also stunned. He just realized that Lin Xian was only a late small saint. Moreover, it looked like he just broke through. The scene of breaking through was probably not any weaker than breaking through to the Holy Venerate realm. What's going on with this person? All right, I'm fine. I still have to consolidate. See you in 2 days. Lin Xian waved his hand and closed the door of the hall. Then he sat down again. This time, they broke through to the late small saint. His strength improved again. He would probably be able to break through to the Holy Venerate realm next time. This speed greatly surprised him. Thanks to the opportunity in the gourd world, he changed his life form. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to break through in such a short time. It had to be said that it was much harder for him to break through compared to others. This was normal. The 9-yang divine body was one of the strongest physiques in the universe. The energy needed to break through was far beyond the imagination of those saints. Ling Xian still had the great dragon sword spirit. Once he broke through, his strength would be far beyond those of the same level. Even now, Lin Xian felt that he was no different from an early Holy Venerate realm cultivator. If this news spread, it would probably scare people silly. One had to know that the division of the Saint realm was extremely strict. It was very difficult to break through. Furthermore, it was only a small gap. For example, a mid-small saint could fight a late small saint. However, it was 100 times more difficult for a late small saint to fight a Holy Venerate. It was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. However, Lin Xian now had such confidence. Lin Xian guessed that once she truly broke through to become a Saint Venerable, she would be able to kill people of the same level as her as easily as cutting vegetables. Furthermore, he had an unexpected gain this time around. He had managed to condense the law of lightning. Moreover, it was not an ordinary law of thunder. Lin Xian called it the law of thunder. This was because he had absorbed a large amount of lightning at Thunder Rolling Mountain. Coupled with the thunder tribulation from his previous breakthrough, he had formed this law. Like fire, lightning is a violent force, and it carries with it the intent of destruction. Rei's speed was also very fast. Once his law matured, Lin Xian's strength would increase again. After stabilizing its cultivation base, Lin Xian entered the dream leaf and began to hone its lightning laws. The people outside were discussing animatedly. They thought that Qin Xianer had failed in her breakthrough. Some of them were rejoicing in her misfortune and even sent people to comfort her. Sure enough, quite a few princesses had sent gifts, all of which had been sent by the princes and princesses. They wanted to use the excuse of sending treasures to see what the situation was like. However, they were disappointed. Qin Xianer was still in the late stage of small saint. However, her mood was very good and she did not show any signs of depression. In the end, when these people left, Hu Donglai also arrived. After he arrived, he ran up the mountain with large strides. "Xianer, are you all right?" After he arrived, he asked with concern. Qin Xianer frowned slightly. Qian Bai, who was beside her, also said softly, "Hu Donglai, pay attention to how you address her. Why don't you call her saintess or call her princess? Xianer is not someone you can call her by." Hearing this, Hu Donglai did not get angry. Instead, he smiled. "Little Princess Qian Bai, your sister and I grew up together. We are childhood sweethearts. Our relationship is very good. Moreover, in the future, your sister is my woman. There's nothing wrong with me calling her Xianer now." Qin Xianer frowned. "Who told you that I want to become your woman? Hu Donglai, don't talk nonsense. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite. Xianer, are you still shy? Don't worry, after you return this time, I will ask my grandfather to propose marriage in 2 days. Thinking about it, the Holy King will definitely agree." Hu Donglai was abnormally excited. His grandfather was an extremely terrifying elder of the Nine-Tailed Fox clan. His identity was not ordinary. Although their family was not the royal family, there were countless experts. Even the royal family had to treat it seriously. Moreover, the princesses of the royal family were all married to the descendants of other elders to consolidate their power. At this moment, the mountain beside them opened and Lin Xian walked out again. The corner of his mouth raised into a smile. The increase in his strength made him in a very good mood. Qin Xianer was originally depressed. This Hu Donglai, she could not chase him away. Lin Xian's appearance made her very happy. She directly flew over. "You're back." She showed a very concerned look. Seeing this scene, Hu Donglia's face darkened. When he saw Qin Xianer so concerned, she was so jealous that her eyes instantly turned red. Damn it, why was this kid here? Who allowed you to come here? He took a step forward as the blue flames on his body flickered vigorously, which transformed into a terrifying blue palm slapping forward. He wanted to kill the other party as quickly as possible and not give Qin Xianer a chance to react. Humph! In the face of such a terrifying attack, Lin Xian sneered. He also slapped out with his palm. The golden flames on it jumped and collided with the green flames. An earth-shaking sound rang out. The law of fire filled the air, and the green palm was directly torn apart. Hu Donglai also took 2 steps back. His face turned pale, and he almost vomited blood. He was forcefully suppressed by him. Damn it, how is this possible? His eyes almost popped out. The other party had easily broken his attack. For Xiener's sake, I'll spare your life. If you dare to attack me again, I'll send you to hell. Lin Xian glanced at the other party and said coldly, Damn it. Hu Donglia's expression became incomparably cold. The other party actually dared to threaten him. It was unforgivable. However, the power that the other party displayed now greatly surprised him. The first time he saw the other party, he was much stronger. It was more than 10 times stronger. It completely exceeded his expectations. Kid, I advise you to stay away from Xiener. She's not someone you can provoke. Otherwise, you won't even know how you died. Hu Donglai threatened. Lin Xian sneered. What does what I do have to do with you? You don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Do you know who I am? Hu Donglai finally could not hold it in. Lin Xian also smiled. To tell you the truth, it's because of your identity that you're still alive. Otherwise, do you think you're qualified to stand in front of me and speak? Chapter 4165. Hu Donglai was so angry that his entire body was trembling. The other party actually dared to threaten him. Lin Xian was impatient. He said coldly, Scram. His voice carried the law of lightning. It sounded like thunder, directly causing Hu Donglia's soul to feel an impact. His ears were bleeding. Despicable brat, just you wait. Hu Donglai did not make a move because he felt that the other party was too strange. The growth of his strength was too strange. He had to go back and investigate properly. With a wave of his robe, he turned and left. Seeing the other party leave, Bai jumped over and said, Humph, that despicable guy finally left. I can't stand him the most. You want to marry my sister? No way. After Lin Xian heard this, he looked at Qin Xian. And you have an engagement with him? Qin Xian laughed. How is that possible? How could I fall for him? If I had to choose, I would choose someone like you. All right. Lin Xian laughed. But you're too late. Qing Feng's scalp went numb when he heard this. He actually dared to speak to the saintess like this. Bai was also unhappy. I thought you were a good person, but I didn't expect you to be so bold. Do you know who my sister is? She's the saintess. Do you know how many princesses there are in our imperial capital? There's only one who can become the saintess. She represents our 9-tailed fox clan. If you're bragging, I'll let the 9-tailed fox experts suppress you. Is the 9-tailed fox very powerful? Lin Xian was also surprised. He wanted to take the opportunity to inquire. Bai raised her small face and said, Of course, our Saint King and Saint Empress are both at the Saint King level. You say they're not powerful. Those elders are also incomparably powerful. Our 9-tailed fox has even more geniuses. Lin Xian sucked in a breath of cold air. The 9-tailed fox clan actually had 2 Saint Kings. It's really unbelievable. Little girl, don't talk nonsense. Qin Xian laughed. Then she glanced at Lin Xian. Are you trying to inquire about our 9-tailed fox clan? Lin Xian shrugged. I'm just asking about the basic situation. You don't have to be nervous. Of course I'm not worried. I'll tell you everything you want to know. and I have to treat you well. I can't let you run away." Hearing this, Lin Xian broke out in cold sweat. "You're not planning something, are you?" That's right, that's right." Qin Xianer smiled mysteriously. Then he walked towards the top of the mountain. Lin Xian, on the other hand, was curious as to what you were up to. His sister must be worried about the Green Hill sacrificial ceremony. Qian Bai followed up and said. Lin Xian asked, "Little girl, tell me in detail." Qian Bai said that the details are too complicated, so I won't tell you. You should know that this matter involves many princesses and princes. Many of them have designs on my sister, the Holy Maiden. However, those people all have the support of elders behind them, although my sister also has elders on her side. But this time he came back in a hurry and didn't bring any helpers. Let me do the talking. Qin Xianer. She walked to the top of the mountain and took out some spirit tea. She began to brew tea for Lin Xian. At the same time, she briefly explained the matter. Lin Xian understood after hearing this. The so-called Green Hill sacrificial ceremony should be the ancient inheritance of the Green Hill tribe. It seemed to be a matter of competition among the younger generation. As the Holy Maiden, Qin Xianer was envied by many people. In addition, she had been cultivating in the Hehuan Palace all year round. Therefore, she didn't have any helpers with her. From the looks of it, he was trying to rope Lin Xian in as an ally. What benefits can I get by helping you? Lin Xian asked. After all, the following battles would be more intense. There might even be all kinds of secret methods. I have to be careful. I don't want to be involved in such a whirlpool for nothing. Qin Xianer said with narrowed eyes. If you're lucky, I can bring you into the Green Hill Cave. Then you can definitely break through to the Holy Venerate level. If you can't enter, I'll give you all my cultivation resources. Anyway, I can definitely let you become a Holy Venerate before you leave. Is she serious? Lin Xian's eyes lit up. If he could break through to the Holy Venerate level, it would be a great benefit for him. Although he was only one step away from that level now. He knew that with the strength of the 9-yang divine body and the great dragon sword soul, it would take a long time for him to break through. If he helped Qin Xianer, he could shorten the time. Therefore, he thought about it and said, I'll help you. Qin Xianer said, You have to think carefully. If you stand on my side, I'm afraid it will be very dangerous. Lin Xian said, I'm not afraid. I survived the Holy King's pursuit. Why should I be afraid of anything else? Qin Xianer nodded. All right, you can cultivate here for the time being. I'll inform you when I need you. The two of them formed an alliance. On the other side, Hu Dong's face was gloomy as he returned to his territory. To be honest, he was very unhappy because no one had ever dared to treat him like this. Even the princes and princesses of the royal family were very polite to him. After all, his grandfather was one of the 10 elders of the 9-tailed fox tribe. Moreover, it was the 3rd elder. Each and every one of the 10 great elders was extremely terrifying. Since ancient times, they had formed the 10 great families. In this world, they were second only to the royal family. Moreover, if the 10 elders joined forces, then even the royal family would have to treat them seriously. Moreover, the situation of the Green Hill Fox was very special. The Holy King and Holy Empress were fighting for the support of the 10 great elders. At this time, who would dare to be rude to him? However, a human brat was actually so arrogant. This made him so angry that he vomited blood. Returning to his palace, Hu Donglia's face was cold. He said, Someone come. Immediately, a slender man knelt on one knee on the ground. Young master, what made you so angry? Hu Donglai said and sent someone to investigate. The Holy Maiden had brought back a human man this time. Let's check out his background. Soon, his subordinates began to act. It had to be said that they were indeed one of the 10 great families. The speed was very fast. In less than half a day, the middle-aged man returned. He said respectfully again, "Young master, I didn't find anything. That person is very mysterious. I've already used all my methods. But the people on the green, Hill don't know him. They don't know him." Hudonia's face turned cold. It seemed that he was not from this world. Thinking about it, he should be someone from another sacred city. However, a mere disciple of the sacred city dared to clamor with him. Send someone to deal with this brat. Otherwise, don't leave any clues. You must not let Sienna notice. Young master, don't worry. Send Hidden Fox. It's absolutely foolproof. Very good. I won't let him see the sun tomorrow. Hudonglai revealed an ice-cold smile. Those who dared to provoke him would end up very miserably. He would make the other party regret it. Chapter 4166. Night fell. Lin Xian once again returned to the main hall. He set up the formation and then entered the dream leaf to continue cultivating the law of lightning. However, at this moment, a figure appeared in the sky above the territory. Soon he disappeared. The whole process was very fast and no one detected him. Hidden Fox flew in the sky while hiding his body and probing the surrounding situation. He easily entered Qin Xian'er's territory. Obviously, he had a way to break the formation here. I wonder who the young master wants me to kill. He was sent by Hudonglai. He was very strong and had reached the peak of the small saint realm. He was only one step away from the saint realm. Moreover, he had his own unique characteristic, which was that he could hide. He belonged to the Nine-Tailed Fox clan and was an expert in assassination. It was easy for him to kill a human saint. Finally, he came to the top of a mountain. Looking down, his eyes flickered and the corner of Hidden Fox's mouth raised into a sneer. The saintess was beside him. It seemed that he had to use some methods. He opened his mouth and spat out a green veil. The light veil turned into tens of thousands of feet long and directly covered the mountain where Lin Xian was. The corner of Hidden Fox's mouth raised into a smile. This should be enough. His figure flashed and directly rushed in. Inside the main hall, Lin Xian was still cultivating in the dream leaf. However, at this moment, the formation he set up issued a warning. Lin Xian instantly retreated from the dream leaf. He opened his eyes. "Who dares to break into my territory? Get out!" he shouted coldly. His voice carried the law of lightning. Was he discovered? He didn't expect that there would be a formation here. In the void, a hazy shadow appeared. It was as if it was translucent. It was impossible to see whether it was real or not. A cold voice came from the shadow. Hidden Fox was very surprised. He originally wanted to solve all of this quietly. Who would have thought that the other party's formation was so strange? However, so what if it was discovered? He had already covered everything with the 10,000 light smoke. Even if there was a big battle here, the saintess beside him wouldn't be able to sense it. Moreover, when he glanced at Lin Xian, the disdain in his eyes was even stronger. The other party was only a late-stage, small saint. He could kill such a person with a single move. Sigh, I didn't expect young master to send me to kill trash like this. How boring. Brat, how do you want to die? Kneel down obediently and I can give you a quick death. Humph. Lin Xian also laughed. They were here to assassinate him. Who instructed you to do this? Tell me, and I will spare your life. Spare my life. Brat, do you know what's going on? Look at my cultivation. You're just a late little saint. Can you fight against me, a peak little saint? He felt that this human in front of him was an idiot. So what if you're a peak minor saint? I'm not even afraid of a saint venerable. This is your last chance. Are you going to tell me or not? Damn it. Hidden Fox was thoroughly enraged. It was no wonder that their young master was so angry. This brat was simply too reckless. With a shift of his figure, he hid in the void and completely disappeared. In the next moment, he appeared behind the man, and a dagger appeared in his hand. He charged towards Lin Xian. In the next moment, Lin Xian would probably die. However, Lin Xian dodged the attack and at the same time struck out with his palm. On his palm, Lei Ming's law kept spreading, forming a cage. The law brought along a violent aura, tearing the entire void apart. Boom! A low, rumbling sound could be heard as a figure retreated. Hidden Fox's face turned ugly. Damn it, the other party could actually dodge his attack. This really surprised him. Brat, you've completely angered me. I'll be serious next. He felt that it was a shame that he couldn't kill the other party with a single move. Hence, he became serious in the next moment. In his eyes, a terrifying killing intent bloomed. His entire body turned into nothingness. Kill. With this attack, the entire space in the main hall was split into two. Let's see how you're going to dodge. Because the other party couldn't dodge his attack no matter what. What surprised him was that Lin Xian didn't dodge at all. Instead, he threw out a punch. With a clang, it collided with his dagger. The terrifying killing intent that he had unleashed was directly shattered. His entire body was sent flying, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. This was impossible. Hidden Fox finally screamed. His face was filled with horror. What was going on? Wasn't the other party a late minor saint? How could he hurt him? Wasn't there a difference of a realm between the two of them? This was a difference of 1,000 years in cultivation. Even if the other party was a genius, the difference should be at least 500 years. How could the other party make up for the difference of 500 years, just like that? He couldn't believe it, because he was also a genius. Damn it, go to hell. At this moment, Hidden Fox completely exploded. He didn't hold back at all. Lin Xian's face also darkened. It was unknown whether he was dead or alive. So what if the other party was a peak minor saint? In the next moment, a Tai Chi diagram appeared in his hand and kept spinning. He directly slapped it over. With a bang, the other party's dagger was sent flying. The other party's attack was directly shattered by the Tai Chi diagram, and the other party was enveloped by the Tai Chi diagram. Lin Xian tried his best to activate the law of death, forming a chain that coiled around the other party's body. No matter how good the other party was at hiding, he couldn't escape at this moment. My life is draining away. Damn it, what did you do to me? Hidden Fox screamed crazily. Lin Xian slapped him. Be quiet, otherwise I'll turn you into a dried corpse. Hidden Fox immediately shut his mouth. His eyes were wide open, and his body trembled in fear. Damn it, was this really just a late minor saint? Why did he feel like he was facing a holy sage? Because he would only feel this kind of fear when facing a holy sage. Tell me, who sent you to assassinate me? Lin Xian said indifferently. Of course, you don't have to say it. I can directly collect your soul. Hidden Fox screamed when he heard this. It's young master. Young master? Let me guess, is your young master Hu Donglai? Hidden Fox had no choice but to nod. To be honest, if it was in the past, even if he was caught, he wouldn't reveal the secret. But now he couldn't. He was really shocked. The human youth in front of him was too mysterious and too strange. It made his soul tremble, especially the power of death. He had no choice but to tell everything. Tell me about Hu Donglai and the situation of the entire family. Hidden Fox's body trembled. He gritted his teeth and said, If I tell you, can you spare my life? Lin Xian sneered. You don't have the qualifications to negotiate with me. I can directly search your soul. A golden light appeared in Lin Xian's eyes. Immediately, Hidden Fox felt that his soul was instantly suppressed. He was so frightened that he screamed. Not only was the other party powerful, but his soul was also so terrifying. He was completely afraid. I'll tell you. He didn't dare to hide anything and directly told him everything he knew. Chapter 4167. After Lin Xian heard this, his expression turned cold. Hu Donglia's family was extraordinary. The other party was one of the 10 great elders, which was also one of the 10 great families. Moreover, Hudonglia's grandfather could be ranked as the third elder, which was enough to show that he was extraordinary. No wonder the other party was so arrogant before. It turned out that he had something to rely on. However, so what? Whether it was the third elder or some other elder, if they dared to provoke him, Lin Xian would definitely not let them off. Thinking of this, the corners of his mouth curled up into a cold smile. In front of him, Hidden Fox was trembling. "I've already said it, you can let me go now." "Let you go? You actually dared to assassinate me so recklessly. Do you think I let you go so easily?" "No, damn it, you can't be like this." Hidden Fox screamed in fear. "I'll fight it out for you." He wanted to attack with all his might. However, in the next moment he saw a pair of golden eyes, like the gaze of a god, enveloping him. He felt that his soul had been ruthlessly attacked. With a poochie sound, he spat out a mouthful of blood and fell to the ground, his body trembling nonstop. He was unable to resist at all. In the next moment, he felt that his soul had been attacked, and an extremely terrifying soul imprint formed in his mind. He wanted to resist, but he couldn't. After a while, his eyes regained clarity. He looked at Lin Xian and knelt down on one knee, paying respects to his master. "Very well, you can stay by my side for now." Lin Xian waved his hand, and Hidden Fox turned from a human into a little fox. Then he came to his feet. This was a mini little fox. Its body was like a stream of water, and it was actually transparent. One could imagine that the other party's bloodline was also extremely extraordinary. He was born to be an assassin. However, so what if he was extraordinary? He was still subdued by Lin Xian. Right? There seemed to be another treasure outside. Lin Xian pushed open the door of the hall, walked out, and looked ahead. The entire mountain range he was in was enveloped by green smoke. 10,000 green smoke, a very impressive sacred artifact. As long as it was enveloped, it would isolate everything. No wonder Qin Xianer, who was nearby, didn't notice it. "Put away the treasure," Lin Xian ordered. Hidden Fox said respectfully. He was its master. A trace of astonishing symbols appeared in its eyes. Then the endless net light smoke quickly shrunk and was put away by it. Next, Lin Xian asked Hidden Fox to erase the soul imprint on it before planting his own soul in it. How could he give up on such a treasure? When the sun rose the next day, Hu Donglai was extremely excited. He hurriedly ran over. To be honest, although Hidden Fox did not return last night, he believed that Silver Fox had dealt with the other party. After all, there wouldn't be any accidents when a peak expert fought against a late-stage expert. He had come here today to see the other party's miserable state with his own eyes. When Qin Xianer saw that the other party had arrived, she furrowed her brows once more. This fellow was truly like a lingering spirit. Hu Donglai did not care about this hateful expression. He said, "Xian, where's the friend you brought? Why are you looking for him?" Xianer frowned. Hu Donglai said, "Didn't we have some misunderstanding before? I think it's better to resolve it." He actually just wanted to see the other party's miserable end. So of course he had to find an excuse. All right, if the two sides could resolve their enmity, it would be a good thing for Qin Xianer. Therefore, he flew towards the mountain peak beside him. Hu Donglai also soared into the air. Qianbai Qingfeng also came. They were all very curious. The four of them arrived at the mountain peak and looked at the main hall in front of them. Qin Xianer knocked on the door. How could anyone respond? He wanted to see what kind of expression Qin Xianer and the others would have when they saw the situation inside. They should be very shocked. This was the effect he wanted. Since they dared to go against him, he would definitely let them know what regret was. Thinking of this, Hu Donglia's mouth curled up into a cold smile. However, at this moment, the main hall in front of them opened and a figure walked out. How was this possible? The smile on Hu Donglia's face froze. His eyes were wide open in disbelief. The other party came out. The other party was still alive. Damn it, what was going on? Did he not succeed? Why are you looking for me so early in the morning? Lin Xian stretched lazily. Qin Xianer said that Hu Donglai wanted to write off the grudge with you, so I was going to ask for your opinion. Hearing this, Lin Xian's eyes turned towards Hu Donglai as the corners of his lips curled into a mysterious smile. He naturally knew that the other party was definitely not here to resolve the grudge. He was here to see his miserable appearance. However, thinking about it, the other party was probably scared silly by now. He waved his hand, and a little fox jumped into his hand. He gently patted the other party's head and then looked at Hu Donglai. "Oh, you want to resolve the grudge with me? How was that possible?" Hu Donglai did not hear Lin Xian's words clearly. At this moment, his eyes were bloodshot as he stared at the translucent fox in front of him. Damn it, Hidden Fox! Hidden Fox was actually here, and from the looks of it, how did it become the other party's pet? Damn it, what was going on? One had to know that although Hidden Fox was his subordinate, it was impossible for him to transform into his original form, let alone wagging his tail like a pet. You. He pointed at Lin Xian with a face full of shock. He was so afraid that he could not even speak clearly. It was obvious that he was completely frightened. Lin Xian looked at this scene and sneered. Qin Xianer, who was beside him, frowned. Hidden Fox was actually in Lin Xian's hands. He instantly understood what was going on. Her face also darkened. Thinking about it, there should have been an intense assassination last night. She actually did not know. Damn it, Hu Donglai was too bold. He actually dared to attack the people around her. Hu Donglai, I'm afraid your goal is not that simple. You actually dared to attack my friend. Qin Xianer asked coldly. He was not putting her in his eyes at all. Hu Donglai also came back to his senses and said, Xian listen to me. How could I attack your friend? Then what was going on? Qin Xianer asked. Hu Donglai was so anxious that he was sweating profusely. He said, I don't know either. Damn brat, you actually dared to attack our nine-tailed fox clan. You have committed a capital crime. Why aren't you kneeling down now? He had no choice but to forcefully suppress the other party now. Someone came. With an angry roar, 4 figures flew over from the distance. These 4 were also peak small saint existences. They were wearing terrifying flame armor that was burning fiercely. The long spear in their hands enveloped Lin Xian. It seemed that they would attack once the order was given. The situation, for a moment, became extremely dangerous. This Hu Donglai actually wanted to attack here. Too bold. Chapter 4168. What? You want to fight? Lin Xian sneered. Qin Xianer also frowned. She snorted. How dare you? Who allowed you to come in? Get out. However, the 4 experts did not move at all. They had no intention of leaving. Lin Xian also frowned when he saw this scene. Xianer, you don't live up to your title of saintess. Can anyone behave atrociously in your territory? Qin Xianer's expression became extremely ugly. Indeed, these were only 4 guards. So what if they were Hu Donglia's men? The other party was just an elder family, and she was not only a princess, but also a saintess. They did not even listen to her orders now. Get out, or you will be killed without mercy. Qin Xianer shouted coldly. Qing Feng also stood out. The long saber in his hand bloomed with a biting cold light. At the same time, he looked at Hu Donglai. Do you dare to disobey the orders of the saintess? His eyes were cold. Hu Donglai smiled and said, You have been deceived by this human brat. I am helping you now. Listen to me. As he spoke, he came in front of Qin Xianer and blocked her path. It seemed that he did not want Qin Xianer to help. At the same time, he waved his hand, and the 4 powerful saints quickly attacked. How dare you? Qin Xianer roared. However, Hu Donglia's body also emitted an extremely terrifying light. Xianer, don't be attacked by this human. Hu Donglia's move could be said to be extremely vicious. These 4 peak minor saints could definitely kill the other party. Even if they could not kill him, as long as the other party dared to attack, Then he could use the reputation of the other party injuring the nine-tailed fox to launch an even more terrifying attack. He dared to guarantee that the other party would definitely not survive. However, he still underestimated Lin Xian. This kind of scene was nothing to Lin Xian. Lin Xian looked at the 4 people rushing over. He did not even move. The power in his body blocked everything. At the same time, he said to Hidden Fox, "Next, it will depend on your performance." Hidden Fox nodded and instantly rushed out, transforming into his human form. The dagger in his hand danced in the air. Puff, 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 puff. Blood spurted out. The 4 guards stopped in midair. The law and power on their body disappeared. Then 4 bodies fell down. What? Hu Donglai was stunned. Qing Feng was stunned. Qin Xianer was even more stunned. To be honest, she did not expect that the one who did it was not Lin Xian, but Silver Fox. "Damned Hidden Fox, how dare you betray me?" Hu Donglai roared crazily. However, Hidden Fox's expression was extremely cold. He shrank again and came to Lin Xian's side. Lin Xian said with a smile, "Not bad, not bad. Your strength did not disappoint me." Although they were both at the pinnacle, Hidden Fox was clearly an extremely terrifying assassin. With the art of assassination, killing 4 people of the same level was a piece of cake. More importantly, the 4 of them weren't prepared at all. They truly did not expect Silver Fox to attack. Thus, as they were caught off guard, they were instantly killed. Xian also smiled, although she still didn't understand why Hidden Fox would betray them. However, this scene was the best. Lin Xian did not need to make a move, and the people that Hu Donglai brought were killed. In the next moment, she said coldly, "Hu Donglai, do you still dare to behave atrociously in my territory? Be careful of what I ask of you. When the time comes, even your grandfather won't be able to save you." Hu Donglai was so angry that his entire body trembled. To be honest, his eyes were also filled with fear. Damn it, it was too strange. He didn't expect that he would be the one to suffer from the beginning, especially Hidden Fox's betrayal. He stared coldly at Hidden Fox and said, "Get over here, or I'll let you die without a burial ground." However, Hidden Fox snorted coldly and turned his head away, completely ignoring him. Hu Donglai felt that he had lost face. He stared at Lin Xian again. "Kid, I don't know what method you used to confuse Hidden Fox, but just you wait, this matter is not over." With that, he turned around and left. Lin Xian said, "Wait. What, do you dare to attack me?" Hu Donglai turned his head. There was a hint of arrogance in his eyes. He was the grandson of the 3rd elder. Who dared to touch him? Even Qin Xianer did not dare to touch him. Sure enough, Qin Xianer was also worried. She was afraid that Lin Xian would kill Hu Donglai regardless of everything. If that happened, the 3rd elder would definitely go berserk. At that time, she might not even be able to protect Lin Xian. Lin Xian did not say anything. A golden light flashed in his eyes as he activated the heavenly secret divine eyes. At the same time, a pair of golden eyes appeared behind him. Boom! Boom! Hu Donglia's body trembled as a hint of fear appeared in his eyes. "Do you really dare to attack?" He screamed loudly. However, that pair of golden eyes had already disappeared. Lin Xian said with a smile, "I'm not interested in attacking you. I'm afraid of dirtying my hands." Scram! Hu Donglai gritted his teeth. "Kid, just you wait. This matter is not over." With that, she left the place. Hu Donglai returned to his family with a gloomy expression. Damn it! He smashed his mansion into pieces. Endless cracks spread out around him. The servants below were kneeling on the ground, trembling. "What made you so angry?" A middle-aged man walked in with a puzzled expression. The other servants did not even dare to breathe loudly. Hu Donglai turned his head and said, "6th uncle, you're here. That despicable Hidden Fox actually betrayed us." Hidden Fox betrayed us. The man called 6th uncle's expression also changed. "What's going on? Tell me in detail." He walked forward. He spoke as he walked. The old master wants to see you. Hu Donglai nodded and left his mansion, walking towards a larger territory. That was the core area of their family. After entering, Hu Donglai indeed found many people. There were his brothers and sisters, as well as some elders. He greeted them and walked into the main hall. In the main hall, the people sitting there were even more important. "Greetings, uncles." Hu Donglai bowed respectfully. Those elders all smiled and nodded. Er's cultivation had become stronger recently. It seemed that he was not far from the peak. The next step was to become a saint. Cultivate well. The future of the family depends on you. Hu Donglai nodded. "Uncles, don't worry. I will definitely." Before he could finish his words, his pupils suddenly shrank and he became terrified. A terrifying flame instantly enveloped him. He let out a miserable cry. His body was burned and his soul was enveloped. "Save me! What's going on?" Everyone in the main hall was stunned. "Quickly attack." Someone attacked crazily, creating a strong wind as if to extinguish the fire. Someone even spat out seawater that filled the sky. However, it was useless. Hu Donglia's star soul was about to be destroyed. At this moment, a ray of light flew out from inside and instantly pulled Hu Donglia's soul out. Moreover, all the flames were extinguished. "Are you all right?" Another middle-aged man ran over to him. This was Hu Donglia's father. He was almost scared to death just now. The other elders also walked over. "What's going on? Who dares to attack you?" In an instant, the entire main hall was filled with killing intent. Chapter 4169. From the depths of the hall, an even more terrifying aura came. In the next moment, an old man walked out. In his palm there was a soul floating. It was Hu Donglia's. "Greetings, father." "Greetings, patriarch." The people in the hall quickly bowed. "Who dares to attack my grandson?" The old man spoke coldly. His voice was unusually low. No one dared to speak. A bunch of trash. They had been plotted against, and no one knew. The surrounding people trembled in fear. Hu Donglai said, "Grandfather, that kid must be that human kid. He wants to kill me." "Grandfather, you must kill him." "What's going on?" The third elder asked coldly. At this moment, a middle-aged man said the Holy Maiden had brought back a human youth. She said that he was a friend and was currently living in her territory. Sent Hidden Fox to assassinate him, but the other party did not succeed. A friend brought by the Holy Maiden? The third elder's eyes flickered. "No matter whose friend it is, they cannot attack my grandson. Otherwise it would be a dead end. Grandfather, help me take revenge." Hu Donglai screamed. The other people said, "Father, I'll kill him." In their opinion, killing a human was too easy. They were careless before. Now that they were serious, it was easy to capture him. However, the third elder shook his head. The assassination had failed. The Holy Maiden was definitely prepared. In the assassination, she would be able to catch us. She's just a little Holy Maiden. We're not afraid of her. The surrounding people sneered. Besides, the Holy King and Holy Empress are fighting for us with all their might. Qin Xianer would not dare to be rude to us. These people had nothing to fear. Even so, we can't let others catch us. This matter, let's do it secretly. All right, you guys can leave. The third elder waved his hand. Hu Donglia's soul floated out and was caught by the middle-aged man. He quickly helped recover. Everyone left, leaving only the third elder. The third elder said indifferently, "Shadow Buzz." A black figure appeared in the hall. It was a black fox. It knelt on one knee in front of the third elder. "Master, please give your orders." The third elder said, "Contact the Holy Empress. Tell her that I have a plan for her." After saying those words, the third elder began sending a telepathic message to Zhang Xian. "Don't spread this matter around, and don't let anyone else know about it. Do you understand? Go ahead." The shadow disappeared, and the third elder's eyes shone with a terrifying light. Humans! Qin Xianer! Humph! Since you are courting death, then there is no need for you to exist. Qin Xianer's territory. She looked at him suspiciously. You let him go so easily? To be honest, this was not Lin Xian's style at all. Lin Xian also smiled. He had already prepared a big gift for him. It could teach him a lesson. What big gift? Qin Xianer was puzzled. Lin Xian said, just pay attention to the third elder's family. The following days were rather peaceful. Qin Xianer also went to ask around, but she didn't manage to find out anything. However, she was able to sense that something was amiss. Evidently, something had happened earlier, however, had not spread. On this day, another voice came from outside the territory. This time, there were 2 guards standing outside, respectfully. We are here on the orders of the Holy Empress to invite the princess to the banquet. Qin Xianer walked out of the hall. With a wave of her hand, the array separated and 2 figures walked over. This is an invitation card. Please don't be late. At the same time, one of the guards said, the Holy Empress knows that the princess has brought a friend and said that he can be brought along. I understand. You may leave. Qin Xianer nodded expressionlessly. The 2 guards quickly left. Then she found Lin Xian. Lin Xian was also surprised. You want me to attend the banquet of the royal family. Is it appropriate for me, a human, to attend? Also, didn't you say that the Holy Empress is hostile to you? Why would she be so kind? Naturally, she wouldn't be so kind. I'm guessing that she must be pretending. However, she should still do it on the surface. After all, we are all members of the royal family. So are you going or not? Then I'll take a look. Lin Xian nodded. In the evening, the 2 of them prepared and flew into the sky. Qian Bai and Qing Feng were also with them. The 4 of them left the territory and flew into the distance. Not long after, they saw a majestic hall built on the ground. The array there was terrifying, and the security was even tighter. After the 4 of them landed, only Lin Xian's identity was checked before he entered. In front of them, the hall was majestic. Outside the hall, there were 2 statues. They were both statues of the 9-tailed fox. One was black and the other was white. They were unusually majestic, like ancient beasts. The aura they emitted was shocking. Lin Xian was also surprised after he saw it. The 9-tailed fox race was an extremely terrifying race since ancient times. Although they weren't an emperor race, they had a long history. They were terrifying beasts in the world. Now it seemed that they were indeed extraordinary. The 4 of them were invited in. In the hall, there were 2 figures, a man and a woman, sitting at the front. They were the Holy King and Holy Empress of the 9-tailed fox race. Their auras were hazy, and no one dared to look at them directly. Even Lin Xian only glanced at them. He felt that they were the real Holy King's aura and then looked away. The Holy King had his own dignity. If he casually checked them, he would be courting death. Xian greeted her father and mother. Xian and the others began to bow. All right, there's no need for so much etiquette. The Holy King smiled. The Holy Empress also said, Xian you must be better off at home. Now that you're back, you have to stay here for a while. Let your mother take good care of you. Thank you for your concern. Xian Oi's smile became even brighter. However, she snorted coldly in her heart. The other party was probably trying to get rid of her by all means. After all, she wasn't her real mother. This should be the friend you brought. The Holy Empress looked at Lin Xian. The Holy King also looked over. The others stared at Lin Xian as well, their gazes never leaving him. A human could actually come here. How audacious. Those princes and princesses had disdain in their eyes. Lin Xian remained calm. He cupped his fists and said, Greetings, Holy King and Holy Empress. The Holy King's eyes flickered, and then he nodded slightly. The Holy Empress also had a mysterious expression. she said. Since you're Xian Er's friend, you're also an honored guest of the nine-tailed fox race. Please take a seat. Then, Lin Xian and the others sat down. Most of them were still looking at Lin Xian because they couldn't understand why the Holy King and Holy Empress would let a human sit. It was really unbelievable. Among them, there was one gaze that contained incomparable viciousness. Chapter 4170. Lin Xian turned his head and found that the vicious gaze belonged to Hu Donglai. He was slightly surprised. He did not expect the other party to recover so quickly. It was really out of his expectations. Looking at the other party's ferocious expression, he knew that the other party must have suffered before. He should have almost had his star soul destroyed. He guessed that it might be the third elder. Otherwise, the other party's soul would have been destroyed long ago. Thinking of this, Lin Xian smiled and made a provocative look at the other party. Suddenly, Hu Donglai was so angry that he almost vomited blood. Brat, you can be arrogant. One day, I will make you kneel in front of me. Hu Donglai gritted his teeth. The banquet was really thrilling. The surrounding princes and princesses were really all kinds of weapons. Qin Xianer was also amazing. She could calmly deal with them one by one. Lin Xian was greatly surprised. He did not know what Qin Xianer had experienced before. When the banquet was over, Qin Xianer and the other three returned. The entire imperial city became quiet again. The other princes and young masters also left. Hu Donglai and the other elders' descendants also left. The divine empress looked at the back of Qin Xianer and the others, revealing a smile. At the same time, in the darkness outside the imperial city, an old man's eyes were shining. At this time, the void beside him cracked and shadow appeared. Master, you've succeeded. They've drunk the poison wine. Very good. The third elder nodded in satisfaction. This time he and the divine empress worked together to set up the poisonous wine. Even a saint venerable would die without a doubt, not to mention a small saint. Let's go. He waved his hand and left with shadow. On the other side, Qin Xianer, Lin Xian, and the others returned to their territory and returned to their palaces. At first it was fine, but after a while, Lin Xian's pupils suddenly shrank. Endless black qi appeared on his body and shrouded him. He felt a terrifying poison invading his entire body. Even his soul had been tainted by it. Damn it, how could it be like this? Lin Xian's eyes burst out with a terrifying light. The next moment, he frantically mobilized the great dragon sword soul. At the same time, Qin Xianer's side was the same. Qin Xianer tried her best to resist, but soon she could not resist and fell to the ground. His face turned pale. Her life force was quickly draining away. He was poisoned, damn it, and it was an extremely terrifying poison. She hadn't noticed it at all before. Who wanted to poison her? The first thing she thought of was the divine empress. Damn it, this woman is too ruthless. She wanted to call for help, but she didn't even have the time to do so. Her soul was starting to blur. Just when she thought she was going to die, a figure appeared in front of her. Then she felt an extremely sharp energy enter her body and begin to destroy the poison. Qin Xianer finally opened her eyes. She realized that the person who had saved her was none other than Lin Xian. However, what surprised her was that Lin Xian's body was also emitting some black mist. Was he also poisoned? She struggled to stand up, but Lin Xian said, "Don't move, we're both poisoned." This poison is extremely terrifying, and I am doing my best to expel it. Fortunately, the great dragon sword soul had swallowed the power of the lightning strike mountain and had become even more terrifying. Therefore, when it exploded, its power was extremely terrifying. Finally, under the powerful attack of the great dragon sword soul, the poison was completely destroyed. Qin Xianer heaved a sigh of relief. Was she saved? How did you do it? She was really too shocked. She didn't even have the ability to resist this poison. However, Lin Xian was able to help her get rid of it. It was really unbelievable. What exactly was this sharp aura? What kind of secret did Lin Xian have? She didn't ask because she knew that everyone had their secrets. For example, she also had her own secrets. These things couldn't be told to anyone else. Lin Xian took out some pills and swallowed them. At the same time, he gave some to Qin Xianer. He asked, "Do you know who did it?" "It must be the Divine Empress. I don't think anyone else can take out such a terrifying poison." "The Divine Empress?" Lin Xian frowned. "I thought it was the third elder." "What third elder? Are you sure?" Qin Xianer was shocked. "The third elder even dares to harm me?" Lin Xian nodded. "This poison is terrifying. Even a saint can't resist it. Also, I found out some information from Hidden Fox. This poison might be the third elder's doing. But you said it was the Divine Empress. This makes me even more worried. That's a true Saint King. Would her methods be so simple?" Lin Xian frowned. Qin Xianer's eyes also flickered. "Who did it?" Suddenly, her face turned pale again. Even Lin Xian's pupils shrank. Not good. It didn't get rid of it? He was too shocked. The great dragon's sword soul can't get rid of this poison? In the next moment, he was stunned. This was because he realized that it wasn't the same poison as before. It was another type of poison. There were actually two types of poison in his body. Damn it. There were actually two people who poisoned me. The first poison was from the third elder. The second poison was from the Divine Empress. This Dolby was much stronger than the one before. Qin Xianer's face turned pale. This was a sure kill move. Even if they avoided the first one, they couldn't avoid the Divine Empress's move no matter what. What should I do? She looked at Lin Xian and realized that Lin Xian's face was also pale. Although Lin Xian had the great dragon sword soul, he had used up too much of his energy. If the great dragon sword soul were to erupt again, he would be injured. His foundation realm might even fall. Thinking of this, he took out the great void divine furnace. He opened the lid of the cauldron, and a pill flew out from it. The pill floated up and down. Lin Xian slashed it open with his sword. He and Qin Xianer each swallowed half of the pill. In the next moment, the poison in their bodies disappeared. What kind of pill is this? Qin Xianer was shocked. It can even get rid of the poison of a Saint King. Lin Xian was also scared. It was too dangerous. Fortunately, there were some mysterious things in the great void divine furnace. He couldn't even fully investigate it now. However, there were some things that he could use. For example, he could read the notes of some pill saints. There were also some pills that he could consume. This pill was one of them. He had investigated it before. This pill had an extremely strong purifying effect. Therefore, he took it out and swallowed it. The effect was beyond his expectations. Even the poison of the Divine Empress had disappeared without a trace. The third elder, the Divine Empress. Lin Xian's eyes were filled with killing intent. Qin Xianer's face was also cold. She didn't expect that these people would want to kill her. In the past, she only thought that these people wanted to ostracize her and prevent her from becoming the saintess. However, it seemed that she was too naive. Next, we might have to change our methods. We don't have to hold back anymore. Qin Xianer's eyes were filled with killing intent. Chapter 40, 171. Lin Xian was completely enraged. Had these people tried to kill him? Then don't blame him for being merciless. What do you plan to do? Qin Xianer asked. Although she was a princess, she had to seek Lin Xian's opinion at this moment. Lin Xian said, "It seemed like the lesson from last time wasn't enough. Since this was the case, there was no need for some people to exist. However, we can't take the initiative to do it. We have to let them do it. They set up a trap, and we will go in and break it. Let's go out and take a walk. I think some people will be surprised. When the sun rose, Lin Xian and Qin Xianer walked out. There were indeed people keeping a close eye on the territory. When they saw the two of them coming out, their eyes almost popped out. What happened? Not good. Hurry up and report it. These people left quickly. In the palace, after the divine empress received the news, she suddenly stood up. The void behind her kept shattering. How is this possible? Did you see it clearly? The guard, who was kneeling on the ground, said. I saw clearly that the two of them walked out alive. How did this happen? The divine empress's face became extremely ugly. On the other side, after the third elder received the news, he suddenly stood up. He screamed in horror. Impossible! Even a saint venerable couldn't survive after being poisoned. Not to mention these two minor saints. Could it be that they weren't poisoned before? Investigate. Get to the bottom of this. He was completely flustered. Was it because they weren't poisoned, or was it cured after being poisoned? If it was the first, they would be shocked. If it was the second, it would be unbelievable. Even the third elder didn't have the ability to cure this poison. Who could it be? Could it be that there was a hidden expert behind that young man? For a moment, the undercurrent surged. They all started to investigate. However, they couldn't find anything. The third elder had no choice but to contact the divine empress again. In the end, the two of them decided to set up a trap. Let the two of them come over. However, this time, it wasn't convenient for them to come out. They would let the younger generation do it. The divine empress had a daughter, the eldest princess. She would organize a gathering for the younger generation. First, they would find out what happened. If it really didn't work, they would kill the two of them at this banquet. Even if Qin Xianer didn't die, that human youth had to be eliminated. When Qin Xianer held another invitation card in her hand, she narrowed her eyes. It seemed like these people were still unwilling to give up. Lin Xian also snorted coldly. Are they plotting again? Fine. Let's go and see who's the unlucky one this time. This time, it was a gathering of the younger generation. The main participants were the princes and princesses of the imperial city, as well as the young geniuses of the large clans. To be honest, although Lin Xian's side was outnumbered, Lin Xian was not afraid at all. He was someone who had fought hundreds of battles and killed his way up. Although these people from the royal family had good cultivation and talent, their combat experience was incomparable. If they really fought, these people would not be able to withstand a single blow. Linglong Valley. This was a very special place in the imperial city. It was a place where young geniuses often gathered. This time, the eldest princess held a banquet in the Linglong Valley to invite these young talents. Soon, these people arrived and chatted together. At this time, one of the princesses said, "In my opinion, in terms of status, talent, and appeal, the eldest princess is definitely the strongest. That's right, the saintess of our nine-tailed clan should be given to the eldest princess. What does that Qin Xianer have?" These people were all trying to curry favor with the eldest princess. After all, Qin Xianer was only the seventh princess and not the daughter of the divine empress. She could not be compared at all. I think they are giving face to the sacred city. Otherwise, how could she be the saintess? Disdainful voices sounded. After hearing this, the eldest princess also raised her arrogant head. To be honest, she did not care about Qin Xianer. Oh, is that so? If I'm not qualified to be the saintess, then you all can be. At this time, a cold voice came from the sky. The princesses below were stunned. At the same time, they looked up. They saw two figures in the sky, descending towards the valley below. They're here, many people exclaimed. Some people looked at Qin Xianer, but more people stared at Lin Xian. As expected, this human brat had also come. Kid, you still dare to come? Hu Donglai took the lead and walked out. Behind him, there were also some young geniuses. They were emitting killing intent that shrouded Lin Xian. Oh, you still dare to attack me? Looks like I haven't taught you a lesson yet. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Qin Xianer frowned. Is this the attitude you have when inviting people? All right, you can leave. The eldest princess spoke. Hu Donglai retreated hatefully. The eldest princess stood up and smiled. Seventh sister, don't think too much. These sisters have no ill intentions. They are just chatting casually. Since you're here, sit down. Qin Xianer glanced at Lin Xian. Lin Xian nodded. Then the two of them sat down. Soon, all kinds of fine wine and delicacies were served. However, the two of them did not drink this time. They wouldn't eat anything. The poison from last time had taught them a deep lesson. What's wrong, seventh sister? Why aren't you eating? Is the wine and food not to your liking? The sword maniac prince did not seem to like the food here either. Humph, I'm afraid this kid has never seen such good food in his life. How could a country bumpkin know the preciousness of heavenly materials and earthly treasures? The surrounding princes and princesses sneered. The wine they served was brewed with supreme-grade spirit fruits. The dishes were also made with precious materials. It could be said that a dish outside was enough to make countless saints jealous. When Lin Xian heard this, he smiled and said, "To tell you the truth, I really don't have an appetite, because what I usually eat are roasted golden crows, imperial pungs, and so on." What? When the people of the nine-tailed fox heard this, their eyes almost popped out. Roasted golden crows and imperial pungs? F***CK. Would it kill him to not brag? Although they also ate heavenly treasures. Who had ever eaten a rare beast like the golden crow? Who would dare to eat it? This kid must be bragging. Qin Xiana knew that not only had Lin Xian eaten it, he had eaten more than one. So she also smiled and said, "Yes, I remember the last time I ate it. It was indeed delicious." The surrounding people were about to go crazy. Could it be that Qin Xianer had eaten it before? The eldest princess's face darkened. She did not believe such a thing. In her opinion, the other party was just provoking her. Immediately, her face darkened. But soon, she revealed a sneer. "It's meaningless to just chat like this. We are all people who pursue the martial Tao. Why don't we send someone to spar?" "I agree." When she said this, many princesses and princes nodded. Hu Donglia's eyes emitted a cold glint as he stared fixedly at Lin Xian. Humph, the chance for revenge is here. Chapter 4172. The other princes and princesses were also gloating. It seemed that they would have a good show to watch. Hu Donglia's lips curled into a cold smile. He could finally take revenge. However, he did not do it himself. Beside him, a man stood up and walked forward. "Sword maniac, right? Looking at your title, you should be a swordsman. Why don't you have a match with me?" He waved the long sword in his hand. The surrounding people were stunned and then took a breath of cold air. They did not expect that the first one to come out would be him. This person was not ordinary. It could be said that he was quite famous in their king city. Shadow Fox Sword Hu Fei. His sword technique was very profound and mysterious. An ordinary small saint was not his opponent at all. This human would definitely not be able to block it. Hu Donglai also sneered. With Hu Fei taking action, it was guaranteed that nothing would go wrong. Although Hidden Fox had betrayed them, he did not think that it was Lin Xian's strength. In his opinion, it was very likely that Qin Xianer was the one who took action to subdue Hidden Fox. Otherwise, how could a mere human be able to do it? Lin Xian raised his head and glanced at the front. He did not expect that Hu Donglai had not taken action but sent another one. Shadow Fox Sword? He had no interest in it, so he shook his head indifferently. "You are not qualified for me to take action. Let your master do it himself." "Damn brat, are you looking down on me?" Hu Fei's face turned gloomy. A shocking chill burst out from his eyes. Terrifying sword chi burst out from his body in all directions. This sword chi caused many people to exclaim. It seemed that Hu Fei's strength had increased again. A late, small saint was probably not his opponent. If one wanted to fight against him, one would have to be at least a peak small saint. This human would probably not be able to block it. I think he is afraid, so he does not dare to take action. Cold laughter could be heard. After Hu Fei displayed his strength, his figure flashed, and he dashed forward. It was not up to you to decide whether to take action or not. If the other party did not dare to take action, then he would force the other party to take action. Anyway, he would not let the other party go today. Shadow sword. The long sword in his hand stabbed out, drawing a dreamlike sword light. It was impossible to tell which was the real killing move. These sword lights shrouded Lin Xian's location, shattering the void around him. When Qin Xianer and the rest saw this scene, they frowned as well. What a ruthless heart! His first move was a killing move. If he was slightly weaker, he would have been killed in one move. Seeing that Lin Xian didn't move, the surrounding princes and princesses laughed disdainfully. This human brat should be scared silly, right? Lin Xian's lips curled into a disdainful smile. Competing with him in swordsmanship? The other party was really courting death. The long sword was already less than a meter away from him. It was obvious that he couldn't dodge it even if he wanted to. Great! When Hu Donglai saw this scene, he became complacent. As expected, the other party did not have any strength. It seemed that he had suffered too much of a loss in the hands of the other party. However, Hu Fei heaved a sigh of relief when he was able to get rid of his opponent. Previously, he was still a little worried that this was an expert. Now, it seemed that he was just a piece of trash, not worth mentioning at all. His sword was enough to end the battle. However, in the next moment, Hu Fei was stunned. His body even trembled. There was a huge fear rising from the bottom of his heart. In the next moment, he felt a shocking sword light in front of him suddenly appear and slash at his body. With a bang, he was sent flying. Crack! 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 Many cracks appeared on his body as blood dyed his body red. In the next moment, his body suddenly split open. Boom! The deep sound was still echoing. Everyone in the valley was stunned, whether it was the princes and princesses or the descendants of the elders. All of them widened their eyes and were speechless. Damn it, what's going on? Hu Fei was blown apart. How is this possible? Someone screamed. The others also came back to their senses and gasped. Previously, they thought that the other party did not move because he was scared silly. Who would have thought that the other party was disdainful to make a move? They didn't even see how the other party injured Hu Fei. How could someone with such strength be weak? These princes and princesses began to re-examine this human youth. On the other side, Hu Donglia's pupils constricted. Impossible, his strength was actually that strong? To be honest, he was really shocked. Could it be that Hidden Fox's betrayal was really because of this kid's strength? Damn it, he didn't believe it. At this moment, Lin Xian said indifferently, I've already said that you're no match for me, but you still won't listen. At this point, his gaze looked in all directions. If you want to challenge me again, don't send such trash up. Damn it, too arrogant. Those princes and princesses' faces became incomparably cold. This was their territory. They were actually frightened by a human. It made them lose face. At this moment, the eldest princess began to transmigrate. She said, Hu Donglai, if you want to kill this kid, I can lend you someone. Hu Donglai was stunned when he heard this. Then he looked at a figure in the distance. That person's body was surrounded by purple light. It was abnormally terrifying and mysterious. This person is. After he learned of the other party's identity, the corner of his mouth raised into a smile. Then, thank you, eldest princess. Hu Donglai nodded. Then he said again, Kid, are you very powerful? However, you're underestimating the geniuses here. You definitely won't be able to defeat the next person. As soon as these words came out, the surrounding people were also surprised. The descendants of the other elders frowned slightly. Hu Donglia's words were too arrogant. They had all seen the performance of the young man before. Could it be that Hu Donglai was going to personally fight? They realized that Hu Donglai did not stand up. The one who stood up was a purple figure. As soon as he appeared, the aura of the entire valley instantly froze. Many people felt their bodies stiffen as if they couldn't breathe. This aura, how could it be so terrifying? Many people were shocked. When they saw that figure, they were stunned. Zilong, it turned out to be the other party. He was not a member of their nine-tailed clan, but a top heavens pride of Purple Sun Palace. The other party was not only from Sacred City, but more importantly, he was a dragon. He was a heaven's pride of the Dragon Clan, an expert. Coupled with the divine ability of Sacred City, what was even more terrifying was that the other party was a peak minor saint. There were very few opponents for such a person. So he stood up. Everyone knew that the human youth was going to be in danger. Even Qin Xianer, Qian Bai, and the others frowned. Qin Xianer said, "Be careful. This Zilong is not ordinary." Lin Xian also narrowed his eyes and looked forward. Zilong. He didn't expect that he would be the one to fight. He had seen this person before. The other party was indeed very strong. Zilong stood up. There was a purple light flickering in his eyes. Like a high and mighty emperor, he looked at Lin Xian. His gaze was cold and carried a hint of disdain. He did have the right to be disdainful because, whether it was cultivation or bloodline, he far surpassed the other party. Chapter 41:73. He even felt that there was no need for him to make a move. Just the pressure from his body alone was enough to defeat his opponent. Sure enough, the purple light on his body turned into dragon shadows and rushed forward. They hovered above Lin Xian. The void around Lin Xian shattered once again. The pressure was too great. The others felt the aftershock of the aura and their faces changed. Under such pressure, even if they were at the peak of the small saint realm, they would have to use all their strength to deal with it. After all, this was the aura of the Dragon Clan. Everyone wanted to see Lin Xian make a fool out of himself. But Lin Xian's body was also surrounded by a biting cold aura. That was the sword chi that shrouded his entire body, making him look like a sword god. It blocked the purple dragon shadows. It seemed that the aura did not cause much pressure on him. Was he not affected? The surrounding people were shocked. What was going on with this human youth? Zilong was also stunned. It seemed that the opponent's strength was beyond his expectation. In the next moment, a purple light burst out from his eyes, like two purple divine spears, piercing towards Yishuan. Although it was just a gaze, it was not weaker than the attack of a sacred tool. This was his method, and in Lin Xian's eyes there was also a biting cold sword chi bursting out. Their gazes collided in midair. Suddenly, a terrifying black hole appeared, covering the 9 heavens. So terrifying. Both of them were experts. The surrounding people were shocked. They had some strength. No wonder they were so arrogant. Zilong said coldly. Lin Xian laughed after hearing that. You're not bad, but it's a pity that you're working for Hu Donglai. Humph. You better take back your words. Otherwise, you'll know what regret is. Zilong was completely enraged. He struck out with his palm, and the entire space began to shatter. It was as if a great apocalypse had taken place. Purple sun palm. Along with the sound, a purple palm slapped out from the shattered void. There was a terrifying purple law on it, causing the entire valley to shake violently. It was like a purple sun pressing towards Lin Xian. Buzz! The surrounding princes and princesses all opened their sacred domains to defend themselves. Even the entire Nimble Valley lit up with a rays. The eldest princess's eyes flickered. She was very confident in Zilong. There would definitely be no accidents in this battle. Lin Xian looked at the purple palm, a cold sword light flashing in his eyes. In the next moment, he pointed out with a finger, and a terrifying sword chi continued to revolve around him before slashing forward. The sword chime shook the 9 heavens and 10 earths. It was as if a giant dragon had collided with the purple palm. Boom! Boom! A terrifying sound rang out as the laws filled the air. The surrounding space kept shattering. Luckily, Linglong Valley had a supreme defensive formation, which allowed it to remain intact. Otherwise, this attack would have turned the entire valley into ashes, and even the entire imperial city would cease to exist. Boom! Boom! As the laws danced in the sky, cracks appeared on the purple sun palm. Then it exploded. The purple flames engulfed the sword aura and devoured it. The two of them seemed to be evenly matched. It can't be, right? This guy can actually contend against Zilong? The surrounding people were all stunned. Even the eldest princess frowned slightly. Zilong's face darkened as well. He did not expect Lin Xian to be able to block his attack. Although this attack was just a casual one. You're not that good either. Next, have a taste of my swordsmanship. Lin Xian walked out. The sword aura on his body kept flashing. Then it turned into a sword domain and slashed forward. You're courting death, kid. You've completely angered me. Seeing that Lin Xian dared to take the initiative to attack, Zilong was enraged. The blood in his body roared, and a dragon's roar rang out. Then a terrifying purple dragon's shadow flew out and charged into the sky. He carried the supreme laws and the aura of destruction as he charged over. Boom! Boom! The two of them engaged in a terrifying battle. Lin Xian did not use the Nine Suns' swordsmanship, nor did he use his divine body. After all, his body was too eye-catching. Once he used it, his opponent would recognize him immediately. He did not want to expose his identity yet. Previously on Dragon Tiger Mountain, Lin Xian had browsed through many top-notch sword techniques and supernatural powers. At this moment, it was really easy for him to use them. Wind-slashing sword, sky-cleaving, endless sword aura condensed in his hand. Then a huge sword shadow slashed forward. Under this sword, the entire void was distorted. Endless small cracks spread out, forming a wind sword domain that directly enveloped Zilong. This kid's swordsmanship was actually so powerful. When the surrounding people saw this scene, they felt their hearts skip a beat. The battle between the two was incomparable. Zilong was completely enraged. Roar! With a roar, he unleashed all of his bloodline and secret arts. At this point, he felt very angry. If he could not take down his opponent in 3 moves, he really would not have the face to stay here any longer. Behind him, a purple palace appeared. It kept bobbing up and down, and terrifying purple light flew out from it one after another. This was the Purple Void Temple's secret technique. It was unparalleled. In the mysterious purple palace, the light that flew out from it was like a peerless, immortal light. It was unparalleled. At the same time, Purple Dragon transformed into a long dragon and charged at Yishiwen. After transforming into his true form, his strength became even stronger. In an instant, the Dragon Clan's supernatural powers and the Sacred City's supernatural powers exploded together, causing everyone to be terrified. This was a fatal blow. It seemed that Zilong was completely enraged. The battle ended in an instant. Qian Bai, Qing Feng, and the others were nervous. They did not know if Lin Xian could block it. Even Qin Xianer's palms were sweating. To be honest, she was not confident in her heart. Seeing that his opponent had used all his means, Lin Xian also stopped smiling. In the next moment, he used the Dragon Clan's ancient breathing technique. Between each breath, there was a special force. Boom, boom, boom. Like a muffled thunder, everyone's expression changed. What was this? Zilong also felt like he was struck by lightning. He felt a huge suppression, and his body kept trembling. Puff! He spat out blood and flew out. Many cracks appeared on his body. The phantom of the Purple Void Temple disappeared. He fell to the ground, and his face became incomparably pale. Was he defeated? The entire valley fell into silence again. Everyone could not believe it. Such a terrifying supernatural power, probably no one could block it. But in the blink of an eye, Zilong was defeated. And they did not realize what the human boy had used. It seemed that he had only spat out 2 breaths. Was it so terrifying? How could they know that this was the Dragon Clan's ancient breathing technique? It was very mysterious. Lin Xian was using all his strength to specifically target Zilong. This had a great suppressive effect on the Dragon Clan. That was why Zilong was as if he had been struck by lightning. "Damn it, what did you use just now?" Zilong screamed crazily. Chapter 4174. Zilong was extremely shocked by the mysterious power just now. He had a feeling that it was related to the Dragon Clan. However, he had never seen it before, so he could not figure it out. At this moment, he asked, "What divine ability did you use? You don't even understand what I used. You are not qualified to be my opponent. You are not qualified to make a fuss here. Hurry up and get lost. I don't want to kill you. However, if you continue to clamor, don't blame me for being impolite." Lin Xian snorted coldly. Damn it. Zilong was mad with anger. He had always been high and mighty. Even when he came here, he was only willing to fight when the first princess treated him with respect. But now, the other party was looking down on him. It made him feel like his lungs were about to explode. "What? You still want to fight?" Lin Xian activated the Dragon Clan's breathing technique. Immediately, the terrifying power spread out again. Zilong took 2 steps back in fright. His face became incomparably pale. He gritted his teeth and did not dare to attack again. "First Princess, thank you for your hospitality. However, I still have some matters to attend to, so I will take my leave first." Zilong did not have the face to stay here, so he left the mountain drum directly. The princes and princesses of the Nine-Tail clan were shocked. They did not expect that the powerful Zilong would be defeated. The first princess's face also became extremely ugly. Damn it, this was equivalent to slapping her face. Qian Bai Qingfeng and the others were stunned. However, Qin Xianer raised a smile. Didn't these people want to target them? It would not be so easy. On the opposite side, Hu Donglai was also gnashing his teeth in anger. Damn it, how could this kid be so strong? To be honest, he thought that Zilong was going to make a move. However, the current situation was beyond his expectations. The next moment, he was even more stunned because he found that Lin Xian stood up and walked towards him. Damn it, what was this kid trying to do? Lin Xian walked out and arrived in front of Hu Donglai. Previously, the first princess said that it was boring to just chat. Why don't we exchange pointers? This guy had attacked him time and time again. Did he really think that he was a pushover? Courting death? How bold! The people around Hu Donglai roared crazily and stood up one after another. Who do you think you are to dare attack our young master? That's right, you want to attack, right? I'll kill you. Their bodies were overflowing with killing intent. Behind them were extremely terrifying tails that danced as if they could destroy the world. Lin Xian didn't care about these people's threats and terrifying killing intent. His eyes were fixed on Hu Donglai. What? You don't even have the courage to attack me? You really are a piece of trash. What did you say? Hu Donglia's expression became incomparably malevolent. Tell me that again. When did he become trash? Why are you still refusing to admit that you're trash? If you're a man, come out and fight me one-on-one. Brat, do you think I'll fall for your trick? Hu Donglai sneered. The other party was so powerful, he was unwilling to make a move. At this moment, Qin Xianer, who was at the backside out as well. Aya, she had thought that he was an unparalleled hero, but to think that he was just a coward. My future husband will definitely not be a coward. He will definitely be an indomitable expert. Sisters, don't you think so? Hu Donglai looked at the surrounding princesses and whispered to each other. To be honest, Although they were unhappy with humans, they despised them for not daring to attack after being provoked like this. That's right. They had thought that this Hudonglai was a young genius, a future expert. But now, it seemed that he wasn't that great. It must be an exaggeration of the rumors. Forget it. It's better to change the candidate in the future. Damn it. Hudonglai was so angry that he vomited blood. Was his lifetime of brilliance going to be destroyed here? He would not allow it. In the next moment, he suddenly stood up. Brat, I originally disdained to attack you. But since you're courting death, then don't blame me. From the looks of it, Hudonglai wanted to make a move. Young master, the surrounding people, cried out in alarm. They were really worried. However, the corner of Hudonglia's mouth raised. Don't worry. Do you think I don't have a trump card? I've already brought that thing here. Really? The guards laughed after hearing that. Hudonglai walked up. He stared at Lin Xian. Brat, I'll let you know that provoking me is the biggest mistake you've made in your life. Qin Xianer frowned when she saw this scene. It was really out of her expectations. In her opinion, after Lin Xian displayed such powerful strength, this Hudonglai would definitely not dare to come out. Now that the other party had come out, what was the other party relying on? In the next moment, her pupils shrank, because she realized that Hudonglai took out something with a flip of his hand. It was a small drum. It was exceptionally exquisite and exquisite. There were countless Dao patterns on it. White fox drum. Many people screamed. Even Qin Xianer's Dao heart turned cold. Damn it, Hudonglai actually took out such a thing. She hurriedly said, Be careful. This is the white fox drum. It's a very terrifying sacred artifact that has reached the sun level. She had two types of attacks. The front was a super powerful divine ability attack, and the back was a strange soul attack. It could be said that it was very dangerous and impossible to guard against. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes after hearing that. White fox drum. No wonder the other party dared to come out. It turned out that he had a powerful sacred artifact. The other princes and princesses were also extremely surprised. Obviously, they all knew the power of the white fox drum. Brat, I'll make you kneel in front of me and make you suffer a fate worse than death. At this point, he activated the white fox drum with all his strength. His palm landed on the drum's surface. Dong! A deep sound rang out. Then, an extremely terrifying storm of laws suddenly erupted in the entire valley. In an instant, it enveloped Lin Xian. It's over. That kid is dead for sure. That was for sure. The white fox drum's attack was even stronger than the purple dragon from before. Unless that kid had a top-grade sacred artifact. Otherwise, there was no way he could resist it. Buzz! While everyone was discussing, the storm of laws that filled the sky was actually torn apart. A sword light shot out powerfully, illuminating the entire world. How is this possible? Hudonglai screamed. The expressions of the surrounding people also changed drastically. The other party was actually able to rush out. It was really unbelievable. In the next moment, they saw the sword chi that filled the sky, charging towards them like a dragon. Hudonglai roared. Scram! He did not dare to use his own strength. Instead, he activated the white fox drum with all his strength. Countless laws appeared between heaven and earth, forming a nine-tailed phantom that communicated with heaven and earth. This power was really too terrifying. At the same time, Hudonglai struck the other side of the white fox drum. Dong! Dong! At this moment, everyone's faces turned pale. Not good. This was an extremely strange soul illusion attack. The first princess's expression also changed. She formed a seal with her palm and changed the array again. Otherwise, they would not be able to withstand the power of the white fox drum. After being enveloped by the array again, they heaved a sigh of relief and looked forward. This time, this kid should be dead. Hudonglai revealed a ferocious expression, no matter how strong the other party was. So what? If his soul was killed, he would not be able to survive. Chapter 41:75. Buzz. A strange soul attack spread between heaven and earth, capable of killing without a trace. Everyone could no longer see Lin Xian's figure because the world was distorted. However, they believed that when the storm ended, it would be the end of the battle. Buzz. However, at this moment, everyone's hearts were beating wildly. They felt that their souls were being suppressed again. It was as if there was an immortal king above the 9 heavens looking down at them. This feeling was too terrifying. Hu Donglai was even more so. He almost knelt on the ground, and the white fox drum in his hand almost fell. In the next moment, his pupils shrank. How was this possible? What kind of aura was this? He activated the white fox drum with all his might, and then came to resist this soul that was difficult to suppress. Then he raised his head with difficulty and saw a shocking scene. Above him, in the endless void, there was a pair of golden eyes looking down at him with incomparable coldness. Whose eyes were these? It was too terrifying. It was as if a god was looking down on the common people. Damn it, could it be that humans? How was this possible? With such eyes, how terrifying was the bloodline? No, I don't believe it. This is an illusion. Hu Donglai roared crazily. He was present and slapped the white fox drum. Psychic 9 kills. With a roar, both sides of the white fox drum trembled at the same time. A terrifying killing aura soared into the sky. At this moment, even Hu Donglia's face was pale, and he vomited blood. It was obvious that using such a divine ability was a huge burden on him, but he was going all out. Even if he was injured, he had to kill the other party this time. Buzz, I don't care if you are the eyes of a god or an immortal king. Everything will be destroyed. Hu Donglai roared towards the sky. He was extremely confident in the psychic 9 kills. However, he soon despaired. He was so scared that his soul almost flew out of his body, because the pair of golden eyes in the sky did not change at all. They were still incomparably cold. The only change was that they were even more resplendent and mysterious. In those eyes, there were countless runes that were constantly rotating. Every time they rotated, the power of the soul would become stronger. At the same time, Hu Donglai discovered that behind those golden eyes, a dragon's shadow had appeared. It was abnormally terrifying. That appearance was even more terrifying than when the purple dragon transformed. It was as if this was the true ancient dragon. What were the eyes of a god and the body of a dragon? With a thud, Hu Donglai directly knelt on the ground. Ka ka ka! Endless cracks appeared on his hand that was holding the white fox drum, and in the next moment it exploded. Ah! With a blood-curdling scream, Hu Donglai vomited blood and flew backwards. Between heaven and earth, the terrifying storm was also torn into pieces. Has the victor been decided? The surrounding people all widened their eyes and looked over carefully. Even Qin Xianer and the others were extremely nervous. After all, this was the white fox drum. She was not confident that Lin Xian could win, but when they saw the scene in front of them, they were all stunned. He saw Lin Xian standing there with his hands behind his back, completely unharmed. His expression was even more calm. Opposite him, Hu Donglia's body was broken and shattered. He looked like he was seriously injured. How could this be? Hu Donglai was injured. Heavens, what happened just now? These people were all crazy. Because before, not only did he have an extremely powerful divine ability, but he also had an extremely strong divine ability. There was also the terrifying soul storm, so no one was able to investigate. Naturally, they could not see that terrifying scene. However, they really could not believe that Hu Donglai would actually be defeated. You're just SOO. Lin Xian sneered. Damn it, I don't believe it. Men, kill him for me. Hu Donglai screamed crazily. He could not accept it. Behind him, the experts that he brought with him moved out one after another. In an instant, more than a dozen figures surrounded Lin Xian. Among them, there was no lack of peak minor saint existences. The sudden change caused the people in the valley to be surprised. Qin Xianer suddenly stood up and shouted, "How dare you! Hu Donglai, don't go too far!" Hu Donglai stood up and swallowed a pill. A ferocious expression appeared in his eyes. "Why wouldn't I dare? This kid injured me and committed a capital offense. Besides, this was the Linglong Valley. The eldest princess had the final say. Eldest princess, what's wrong with my actions?" The eldest princess said indifferently, "I will not interfere in the matters between your elder family and humans." "Thank you, eldest princess." Hu Donglai smiled. Qin Xianer's expression was extremely ugly. "Damn it, are these people going to shed all pretense of cordiality in public? You can try it. I can guarantee that your end will be very miserable." Qin Xianer also walked up. Qin Feng and Qin Xianer did the same. "Seventh sister, let the elders settle their own matters. It's better for us, the royal family, not to interfere." The eldest princess said indifferently. She waved her hand, and immediately the experts of the nine-tailed fox clan came out and stopped Qin Xianer and the others. "Seventh princess, please go back." The aura of these people was also very terrifying. Seeing that Qin Xianer and the others were stopped, Hu Donglai sneered again. "Kid, let's see who can save you this time." Lin Xian also smiled. "Do you think that I need others to save me? Since you don't know what's good for you, then don't blame me." A cold-killing intent appeared in Lin Xian's eyes. Hu Donglai smiled proudly. "Do you think that you can still compete with me until now? I will make you realize the reality. Do it." Following his order, more than a dozen terrifying figures around him exploded together. Between heaven and earth, a roar shook the 9 heavens. A terrifying aura instantly destroyed everything. Lin Xian was already prepared. How could he not have a countermeasure when he came here? So at this moment, he activated the void escape and teleported. At the same time, he sent out 10,000 green smoke, enveloping the entire valley. The entire process was very fast, and no one noticed. When he appeared again, he was already behind Hu Donglai. With a sword, he cut off Hu Donglia's hand. At the same time, he sent out a terrifying sword chi, completely enveloping and sealing the white fox drum. The great dragon sword spirit isolated everything. Lin Xian grabbed Hu Donglia's neck with one hand, and the death law instantly surged out. Hu Donglai still wanted to fight back, but he could not withstand the power of the death law. In an instant, he was subdued. "Damn kid, do you dare to touch me?" Hu Donglai screamed crazily. The dozen or so experts in front originally thought that they had killed this human. However, when they heard their young master scream, they were all dumbfounded. "Damn it, let go of our young master. If you dare to touch him, you're dead. Kid, think carefully. What is the consequence of offending our elder clan?" These people roared crazily. Those from the royal family were also stunned. They really did not expect that Lin Xian would dare to hold Hu Donglai hostage. Chapter 4176. Hearing these people's threats, Lin Xian smiled. Could it be that if I let them go, they won't kill me? Previously, when I didn't threaten him, you didn't plan to let me go either. Since that's the case, why should I hold back? The surrounding people were silent. Indeed, since they had already shed all pretense of cordiality, they shouldn't hold back. However, they really couldn't imagine that a single person would dare to fight against a top family. Hu Donglia's expression was also ugly. He gritted his teeth and said, "Let me go, and our grudges will be written off. Otherwise, you will suffer the wrath of my family. This is definitely not something you can contend against." "Written off? Who do you think you are? How dare you tell me to write it off?" Lin Xian was also angry. He had tried to kill him time and time again, and the third elder even used poison to assassinate him. How could it be written off? You think too highly of yourself. You think that because you are the young master of the third family, I won't dare to make a move against you? Unfortunately, you used the wrong trump card. Go to hell and repent. Lin Xian waved his hand and endless death laws erupted, directly taking away Hudonglia's life force. Hudonglia's body turned into a pile of bones. Even his soul didn't escape. At the same time, Lin Xian clasped his hand and endless dragon-shaped sword energy completely sealed the white fox drum. Then he put it away. Hudonglai fell. Until his death, he didn't believe that the other party would really dare to kill him. Was the other party not afraid of the wrath of their elder family? No. In the distance, the guards also roared crazily. Their eyes instantly turned red. If the other party really killed him, how would they explain it when they returned? The surrounding princes and princesses were also stunned. This scene felt like a dream. They had never seen such a daring person. Qin Xianer took a deep breath. Although the scene was shocking, since she had already decided to take this step, she naturally wouldn't back down. If there was any danger, she would bear it together with Lin Xian. Damn it, kill him! The guards of the third elder's family roared crazily and instantly rushed over. The Grand Palace Master also secretly gave the order. There were even more terrifying experts approaching Lin Xian. The situation could be said to be extremely dangerous. Wang, not good. Qin Xianer's expression changed. She wanted to attack, but she also wanted Lin Xian to leave. This was because the situation was simply too disadvantageous for them. Lin Xian's expression was incomparably cold. He took out a leaf and said in a cold voice, "Everyone, please enter the dream." Wang. As his voice fell, the leaf in his hand suddenly rippled, and a terrifying nomological law shrouded the surroundings. In an instant, the entire Linglong Valley was covered. Everyone's bodies came to a halt as the scene before them changed. It was no longer Linglong Valley. Instead, it was something else. This place was like a land of immortals. It was incomparably dreamy. Where was this place? What was going on? How did we get here? The surrounding people were discussing animatedly. However, the guards of the elder clan said with bloodshot eyes, "No matter what you do, you will definitely die today." They instantly stabbed forward, but they found that all their attacks were shattered 10 meters in front of Lin Xian, unable to move forward at all. What was going on? These people screamed crazily. All of a sudden, shadows appeared behind Lin Xian, aiming for his vital points. However, the assassination attempts of the 4 were also shattered instantly. The 4 of them were nailed in midair. Their silhouettes emerged. They were also 4 terrifying minor saints, with black tails waving behind their backs. Their eyes were filled with boundless fear. The surrounding princes and princesses were all stunned. Even Qin Xianer and the rest were stunned. What kind of technique was this? Lin Xian smiled. His smile was very bright. "Don't waste your energy. This is my world. I am the ruler here." The dream leaf was a secret treasure given to him by the Qingshan Saint King. He could fight all kinds of battles in it. Moreover, it had another function, which was that the Qingshan Saint King had left 3 marks on it. These 3 marks could be used 3 times. Everyone, please enter the dream. Once someone was pulled in, no one would be able to resist. They could only accept Lin Xian's judgment. It could be said that this was a life-saving technique that could kill the enemy 3 times. Of course, the difference in cultivation couldn't be too big. Otherwise, the dream leaf wouldn't be able to withstand it. At present, those who were early-stage Saint Venerables and below couldn't resist at all. What? This is your world? Impossible, I don't believe it. Countless people screamed. The eldest princess snorted coldly. She didn't know what was good for her. She flipped her hand, wanting to take out a saint weapon to break the formation. However, she realized that the saint weapon in her hand didn't appear. This made her panic. What was going on? I said, "This is my world. I am the ruler." Lin Xian waved his hand and slapped the eldest princess's face. The eldest princess vomited blood and was sent flying. She screamed crazily. He dared to hit her. "Damn it, I want you to die." As soon as she finished speaking, thousands of slaps landed on her face, smashing her face into mush. Moreover, this kind of attack was still going on. She reckoned that it wouldn't stop until Lin Xian ordered it. The eldest princess screamed crazily. The other princes and princesses looked at this scene and felt their scalps go numb. Sword maniac, we have no fate with you. Why are you trapping us? That's right, let us go. We won't go against you. Normally, these people were high and mighty and didn't take Lin Xian seriously. But now they were begging bitterly, looking timid and afraid. This huge difference was really ironic. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly. These people had mocked and ridiculed him before. Now that they were in, how could he not let them suffer? Therefore he smiled and said, "Don't worry, I will settle your debts one by one." At this point, the princes and princesses' faces twisted in fear. They were being attacked by illusions. The 4 assassins behind Lin Xian were torn to shreds in an instant. Endless nomological swords fell. In front, the dozen or so guards of the 3rd elder's family were in an even more miserable state. They were burned by the raging flames. The only ones who weren't affected were Qin Xianer, Qian Bai, and Qing Feng. When they saw this scene, their faces were also filled with shock. "Your method is too strong." Qin Xianer came to Lin Xian's side, her face full of surprise. Lin Xian said with a smile, "Of course, without a trump card, how could he fight with them? Then what do you plan to do with them?" Qin Xianer asked. He had already killed Hu Donglai. If he killed all these people, it would probably cause a huge shock. Lin Xian said that ordinary princes and princesses could be punished. However, he couldn't let off a single person from the 3rd elder's family. He couldn't let off the people brought by the eldest princess either. As for the eldest princess, a cold look appeared in Lin Xian's eyes. "I will cripple her cultivation and make her a cripple for the rest of her life." Also, didn't the divine empress use poison to frame us? Then let the eldest princess be poisoned and let them have a taste of being poisoned. Chapter 4177. Hearing this, Qian Bai and Qing Feng were excited. However, Qin Xianer still frowned. Wasn't it too risky? Lin Xian smiled. "It's fine. Do you know this place? This is actually an illusory world. Those who enter are all souls. In this world, I am the master. After I punish these people, I will change their soul memories. When they go out, they will not remember that it was us who did it. I will design that Hu Donglai coveted the first princess's beauty and wanted to secretly harm her. The first princess counterattacked, and both of them were injured. This way, we will have nothing to do. And I will also change the memories of others. This way, others can testify. As for those people outside, don't worry. I have already used the 1,000 blue smoke to block everything. Those people will not know what happened here." As expected, Lin Xian killed all the enemies. Then he began to change the memories of these people. At the same time, outside Linglong Valley, some guards' eyes flickered. After such a long time, why was there no sign of action in the valley? Should they go take a look? Someone asked. However, another person said, "Forget it. Let's wait for the first princess's signal. If we go in rashly, we will ruin the plan. If the first princess is angry, none of us can bear the consequences." These people did not go in. They did not know what was really happening in Linglong Valley. On the other side, Lin Xian changed the memories of these people. Then he put away the dream leaf. In the next moment, everyone's soul returned to their bodies. Their bodies trembled, revealing a look of confusion. But soon they began to scream. Hu Donglai was actually so bold. "Kill him! First princess, are you all right?" Screams rang out one after another. Lin Xian also removed the 1,000 blue smoke. When those people outside heard it, they instantly rushed over. When they saw the scene in the valley, they were about to go crazy. The first princess seemed to be seriously injured and on the verge of death, and Hudonglia's side was completely killed. Not a single person was alive. Damn it, what was going on? Third Elder's family also had many experts. Each of them roared at the sky. They stared at Lin Xian and the others. Damn brat! You dare to kill our young master. We will fight it out with you. Eldest princess, the people here were even more crazy. What was going on? Could it be that this human kid was the one who did it? Why didn't they notice it before? However, 2 female princesses beside the first princess said, "Quick, kill the 3 elders. They dare to touch the first princess." What? The surrounding people went crazy when they heard that. The first princess also opened her eyes. She was extremely weak. She said that my cultivation had been crippled and that I had been poisoned. It's all Hudonglai, kill them for me. What's going on? Was it really Qin Sienna who did it? The guards were stunned at first, but after receiving the order, they immediately rushed over. They were fighting with the people from Third Elder's family. The battle broke out, and the movement here was very terrifying. It instantly alarmed the other people in the imperial city. Quite a few elders rushed over. All of you stop. They suppressed everything. When they found out about this, their faces turned ugly. Hudonglai was dead. The eldest princess had been crippled and poisoned. The matter had really blown up. Sure enough, the 3 elders had personally sent people over. An elder with a supreme aura enveloped the entire world. In an instant, he stared at Lin Xian and Qin Sienna. Lin Xian felt that his body had been penetrated. With a cold snort, the great dragon sword spirit in his body circulated to destroy this power. Who was it that killed my grandson? The 3 elders were about to go crazy. The experts behind him roared as well. Kill this human kid. They roared. Qin Sienna stood out. Third Elder, have you gone senile? It was clearly Hudonglai who plotted against my eldest sister, but he was killed instead. How can you blame it on us? A figure also came from the imperial city. He brought many guards with him. The leader was a middle-aged man. He was the Divine Empress' younger brother, called Red Fox Saint. When he arrived, his face was also cold. What was going on? They began to ask. In the end, the princes, princesses, and the descendants of the other elders all said the same thing. After Hudonglai drank, he was disrespectful to the first princess and even wanted to forcefully attack her. In the end, they fought. It caused the current scene. Impossible. After hearing this, the people of the Third Elder's family screamed. They didn't believe it. This was completely different from what they had imagined. However, with so many princes and princesses as witnesses, they couldn't do anything. In the end, this matter reached the depths of the imperial palace. Even the Holy King and Divine Empress were alarmed. The situation became incomparably delicate. The Divine Empress was furious and prepared to attack. The 3 elders had no choice but to completely rely on the Holy King and plead for leniency. Lin Xian looked at this scene and sneered. Humph, they still dared to plot against him. Now, with just a little trick, he could make these people miserable. Qin Sienna was also in a good mood. After returning, she was happy for 3 days. Then she said, "Next is the Qingqiu sacrificial ceremony." After entering, we don't have to hold back anymore. Because it was very dangerous inside, the probability of dying was very high. Finally, there was no need to hold back. Lin Xian's eyes also emitted a cold light. To be honest, he could have killed all these people before. However, there was a divine empress here after all. The terror of the Holy King still made him feel lingering fear. Therefore, he still had to hold back. However, once he entered Qingqiu Cave, even the Holy King couldn't do anything. Next would be his battlefield. However, Lin Xian was a human. It would be very difficult for him to enter Qingqiu Cave. As expected, when Qin Sienna brought up this matter, basically everyone was against it. No one supported it, whether it was the princes and princesses of the imperial family or the 10 elders. all of them were against it. When Lin Xian heard this news, he frowned. Was there no other way? Qin Xianer said there was another way, but it was a little risky. That was to be the prince consort of the Qingqiu tribe. This way he would be one of them. Being the prince consort? That's good too. Lin Xian smiled. I won't lose out anyway. Qin Xianer blushed. You've been thinking about this for a long time. Then she brought up this request. The entire Qingqiu world was shocked. The young geniuses all went crazy. Qin Xianer had a sweetheart. Damn it, they couldn't accept this. One had to know that everyone wanted to marry Qin Xianer. That way, they could reach the top in one step. But now it was done by a human? They couldn't accept it. In an instant, the outside of Qin Xianer's territory was filled with people. Many people threatened to kill Lin Xian. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.